Part 40. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 391. The president doesn't want to have anything to do with the G family anymore. This time, I came to Glen to participate in the International Youth Culture Exhibition. Although other visitors did not know him, because he was also from the Great Xia Empire, many foreigners had been looking at him frequently before. President Mo only felt that his face was completely lost. The organizer of this first International Youth Culture Exhibition is the International Art Association. It must be the intention of the whole association to be able to put original works and plagiarized works together. With such a big mistake, Ji Qingwei has become famous in the art circle. The future is directly ruined. The kind that can't be saved even if he is saved. President Mo is not in the mood to waste time on a plagiarism. Ji Longta's smile froze, confirming that he heard correctly. He was a little angry. President Mo, what do you mean? What do you mean? President Mo sneered again. I would like to ask you what the Ji family means. After that, he ignored Ji Longta and left with President Luo. Being questioned like this in front of others made Ji Longta both embarrassed and angry. Longta, let's go take a look first. MRSG reassured, maybe President Mo has misunderstood something. I made you laugh. Ji Longta smiled again. Everyone please. The others looked at each other, nodded, and followed the Ji Longta couple in. There are a lot of people who visit inside, all around the center of the showcase. Taking pictures, explaining explanations. Is this the embroidered picture of Miss Qingwei? One person said with a smile. What a great summer, it's time to let these people from the Western continent see the cultural treasures of our Great Xia. MRSG's eyes widened and her mouth opened. No, this is not Ji Qingwei's picture of 1,000 miles of rivers and mountains at all. Ji Qingwei's embroidery was handed to Master Zhuang by her own hands. Of course she knew what it was like. Before she could finish her words, a voice sounded, what author Ji Qingwei should be a plagiarist? This sentence is Chinese. It was a young Chinese artist who spoke. He was extremely fond of embroidery, and naturally had no favors for plagiarists. This sentence surprised MRSG. Only then did Ji Longta and the others discover that there was a pair of embroidery under the glass showcase. Ji Longta was taken aback. This. On the side, a teacher pointed to Ji Qingwei's 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains, and began to teach students how serious plagiarism is in the popular science and art circles. Do you remember? You must not learn from this. Ji Qingwei, the female teacher said, her plagiarism is despised by others. We must protect the originality and create our own style. Even if we don't win the prize, it belongs to us. Our own. Plagiarism is stealing the work of others, but originality never dies. The boys and girls all nodded. Only then did MRSG understand what President Mo said before. Her eyes darkened and she almost fell. Especially when many guests around are talking, the name Ji Qingwei is popular, but it is famous for plagiarism. Ji Longta was even more horrified. What the hell is going on? How did it become plagiarism? How did the original version come about? Longta, I have something to do. I'll go first. One person broke the silence. I won't go with you. When he said goodbye, others also said, I have something to do too. That's right, my wife is a fan of Yunlin. I have to go to the memorial to take a picture and leave. In the blink of an eye, all the people invited by Ji Longta were gone. MRSG's lips trembled and her face turned pale. Longta, let's go, let's go. She couldn't stay here any longer. All the guests who came in were talking about how Ji Qingwei was shameless and shameless. Ji Longta's hands also trembled. He wanted to go forward and take away Ji Qingwei's embroidered pictures, but there were a lot of security guards around, and he didn't have the chance at all, so he could only watch other guests take pictures. Done. There were only these two words left in Ji Longta's mind. At this time, Master Zhuang also thought the same way. He went to the head of the International Art Association, but he didn't expect to be directly scolded by a bloody head. The surname is Zhuang. You are really amazing. The chairman of the committee was cold and cold. I came to the competition with a plagiarized work, and wanted to win the award by catching fish in troubled waters. If he hadn't sent the original version over to Gu Huiyan, wouldn't I really have been deceived by you? Already. Gu Huiyan? The original. Master Zhuang's expression changed, and he asked anxiously, who is the original? This is impossible. If you copied someone's work, you still have to ask who they are. The chairman of the committee was too lazy to talk nonsense with him. Why don't you ask your disciple how they copied it? Also, I put my words here, as long as I am in the International Art Association for one day, you disciple don't want to be in the art world. Master Zhuang was speechless. But at the same time he was horrified. If the chairman can say such words, Ji Qinggui's path in the international art circle is completely cut off. How can this work? Mr. Chairman, there is definitely a misunderstanding in this matter. Master Zhuang chased after him. Qinggui has never even left the house, and with Gu Huiyan's temperament, it is impossible to show her another embroidered picture. She has no chance to copy it. This is indeed a doubt. The chairman stopped. Then tell me, why can the two pictures be said to be exactly the same? This. Master Zhuang was at a loss for words. Maybe inspiration hit, or maybe he couldn't even speak for himself after that. No matter how much inspiration strikes, it is impossible to be similar to this extent. Copying is copying. Where did you get so much nonsense? A voice sounded faintly. There are so many ways to plagiarize. I only see the results. Aren't you wondering why I don't like Ji Qinggui? Why do I have the original version? Want to see her cottage? Master Zhuang was shocked and saw Gu Huiyan walking slowly. His face was pale for a moment, and he left in a hurry without saying anything else. But he must ask clearly how Ji Qinggui plagiarized. Gu Huiyan. You still dare to come? The chairman was furious. How could you let such a good seedling enter the showbiz? You are a waste of money. Gu Huiyan is in a good mood today. Yesterday, he finally succeeded in taking the position and became Sci-fi's teacher. He happily gave his assistant a bonus. Hearing what the chairman said, the anger came back. Do you think I don't want to? She was filming when I knew this girl. This is her job, and I can't force her to change her career. Then you can't do it. The chairman hated that iron was not steel. If you let her study art, she would have become famous all over the world. Gu Huiyan sighed, but you are a well-known artist, but many laymen don't know your name. Chairman. I'm worried. This is also true. If you don't know a specific field, you won't know who the big guys in this field are. Yes, the actors are different. The chairman sighed. If it can reach the level of Yunlin, the world will know it. After all, more people watch movies and TV shows. Gu Huiyan snorted coldly, you know shit. He didn't even dare to tell the chairman that Cai Zhonian, an old man, wanted to drag Sci-fi to the medical circle. It was he who was superior in chess and got the position of teacher first. He must show off to Cai Zhonian. Outside the showroom. The sun is hot and the guild is bright. But Ji Longta felt chills all over. He gave up so much propaganda, and just wanted to make a way for Ji Qinggui to build momentum. But he never thought of shooting himself in the foot. This time, everyone he invited knew that Ji Qinggui was a plagiarism. Longta, it's impossible for us to copy Qinggui, it must be copied by someone else. MRSG's voice trembled. She copied better than our Qinggui, which confuses the judge's eyes. Our Qinggui is the original. Ji Longta calmed down and was about to say something when an international call came in. It's not good, ma'am, the housekeeper panicked. Second miss vomited a lot of blood just now. Ji Qinggui suddenly vomited blood, which no one expected. Right now, Ji Longta and his wife are abroad and can't come back for a while. In desperation, the housekeeper could only contact Ji Qingjao. Hearing Ji Qing spitting up blood, Ji Qingyao frowned and said lightly, "I'll go take a look." No matter what, Ji Qinggui is always her sister. She went to Zhang Shuiyan to take leave. Zhang Shuiyan heard the words and got up, "Let me accompany Miss Qingjao for a walk." Ji Qingjao hesitated, "But Captain, your face." It has always been Zhang Shuiyan who took the place of Xiao Wenjian and Mu Qingmeng to communicate externally, and all the big and small families in the 49 cities knew him. "It's good to change your face," Zhang Shuiyan smiled. "Miss Qingjao, wait for me for a moment." 10 minutes later, the two set off for Ji's house. Seeing Ji Qingjao coming back, the housekeeper immediately greeted him, "Miss, I don't know what's going on." The second lady suddenly vomited a lot of blood, passed out, and ran out of medicine. "I just became conscious." "What has she been doing recently?" Ji Qingjao nodded coldly, "Perhaps something went bad." "Nothing. The second lady has been resting and hasn't even done the test questions." The housekeeper was anxious. "The doctors still can't find the cause." "It's precisely because of this that people are anxious." Ji Qing frowned and followed the housekeeper in. The servants were in a hurry, and someone came out with a basin of blood. "This vomited blood is comparable to the blood shed during pregnancy and childbirth." "Second miss, the eldest miss is here to see you," the housekeeper hurriedly said. "If you have anything to say, tell the eldest miss directly." On the bed, Ji Qing's face was pale and his voice was weak. "Sister." Ji Qingjao didn't go in, but asked through the curtain, "Are you okay? What's the matter? Did you vomit blood again?" I don't know." Ji Qinggui's eyelashes drooped. "Sister, maybe I may not live long, and when I die, you will be able to get all the favor of my parents." Ji Qingjao frowned, his voice colder. "What are you talking about?" "Ill." Ji Qingjao didn't want to stay any longer, and regardless of the housekeeper's repeated retention, he left with Zhang Shuiyan. "Qinggui," Yu Yao got the news and rushed into Ji's house. "Why don't you take a good rest? Your health is not good, why don't you take good care of yourself?" "I'm not good looking now." Ji Qing turned around slightly. "Brother Yao, go out first, I want to rest in peace." "Okay, rest well." Yu Yao felt ashamed. "If you didn't save me then, maybe you wouldn't be so sick." He left the bedroom and carefully closed the door. The medicines at the Ning family in Yanqing were cut off. So far enough medicinal materials have not been collected. He had to find another way to find medicine for Ji Qinggui. Yu Yao pursed his lips, feeling very irritable. Ji Qinggui vomited blood so abnormally. He got in the car and was going to buy medicines from several large Chinese medicine prescriptions in the city center. This time, the city center. "That's right, hang the banner here," Shang Lu commanded 2 Qinjun League members in plain clothes. "It's high, and it's slanted. Will you hang it?" 2 plainclothes members. This is indeed the first time they have done such a thing. "Yes, I'll hang a few more here to arrange for Miss Si." Shang Lu took the loudspeaker and then instructed, "Miss Si said that it doesn't cost much to hang a few banners, but I bought them online for a few dollars." Having been with Si fucking for so long, he knows how to save money. Soon, 7 or 8 banners were hung on the street. This is the central street of Sijukan, and there is a huge flow of people coming and going. The banner is bright red again, and there are lanterns on both sides, which are very conspicuous. At first glance, I thought it was a new year. Here, Xie and Yu Yao got off the bus. "Who hangs this banner here?" "No one cares." Xie was very curious. He walked in a few steps and suddenly shouted, "Ah Yao, look, look." "What?" Yu Yao looked up. A line of large characters came into view. "Warmly congratulate Miss Si fucking for winning the first place in the International Youth Culture Exhibition." I can't receive any comments or voting news for Xingxiao and Xiang. It is said that there is no modern text on the list. Alas, the baby who has migrated can give more feedback to the customer service. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 392. Although the International Youth Culture Exhibition is suffixed with the word international, it is still an art exhibition in the final analysis, and it is indeed very small. If it weren't for the birth of a staff, even fewer people in China would know about this exhibition. But because Ji Qingwei participated in the competition, Yu Yao kept it in his heart. He looked at the words on the red banner, paused, but couldn't react immediately. I searched. Xie also had some impressions of this exhibition because Yu Yao mentioned it. Hey, this is the exhibition that your green plum participated in. Wow, Sci-fi can actually take the first place, then she is the first several. I remember that Ji's family has been promoting it. He even handed an invitation to my old man. Yu Yao pursed his lips and said nothing. His expression was still in a trance, and he just felt that everything in front of him was unreal. After a few seconds, Yu Yao looked away, and his voice was cold. It's just hype, it's the usual method in the entertainment industry. I said, you don't know much about the entertainment industry. How can you hype like this? If it's fake, it's not worth the loss. Xie logged on Weibo. Look, yes, she is the first, and she has fans who go to this exhibition. Visited, took pictures, first place, amazing. Glenn started in the afternoon, the time of the Great Xia Empire was at night, and there were already photos in Sci-fi super words. It can be seen that there are Musi all over the world, and the Musi army is gradually growing. But the fact that Sci-fi won the award in the International Youth Culture Exhibition still impacted the acceptance ability of the Musi. Sci-fi super words were also full of confusion. When did this woman even enter an art competition? Forget about participating, she even won an award. Does she remember that she is a star? Mom, what kind of immortal did I have a crush on? Only taking the first place, Sci-fi is worthy of being a troll. This is a ticket to Glenn. I want to see this exhibit with my own eyes. Yu Yao couldn't say anything. Really, I think she can do everything. Xie felt strange. You can talk about the names of medicines and acupuncture points in traditional Chinese medicine, she can really memorize them by rote before the show is recorded, but there is no way to do this embroidery. When was she? Did you learn? Where did you go wrong in the past? You were blind. He has a good relationship with Yu Yao, and he has never been shy about speaking. But this sentence completely hit Yu Yao's pain point. He took a deep breath. I never saw her in the eye before. That's why I said you're at a disadvantage. Xie sighed. Seriously, if she came from a wealthy family, this configuration would be immortal, much stronger than your childhood sweetheart. What does this have to do with Qingwei? Yu Yao was very impatient. If you mention her again, I'll turn my face. If Ji Qingwei hadn't rescued him, he would have died in that kidnapping case. Only the Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor can hold the same status in his mind as Ji Qingwei. But he is more in awe of Ghost Hand and Heavenly Doctor. Okay, I won't tell you. Xie was really angry when he saw Yu Yao. Go buy medicine first. Yu Yao still didn't speak. But there is an emotion called remorse that is madly breeding in my heart. He slowly exhaled, suppressed it, stopped looking at the surrounding banners, and went straight to the pharmacy. Glenn here. 6 o'clock. Sci-fi arrived at the restaurant appointed by the chairman on time. It can be said that there are almost no people who know her now, and she doesn't need to wear a mask and sunglasses here. Come on, sit down and sit down. The chairman of the committee was very arrogant and prepared a table of dishes. Miss Si doesn't know that Zhuang is so embarrassed to ask me what's going on. His disciple plagiarized. He is a teacher I don't even know. I don't believe it when I say it. Gu Huiyan snorted slightly. If he doesn't know, he will be deceived by his disciples, which is also pitiful. I am happy today, not to mention these people, come and have a drink. I fucking remembered Uzayan's words, and she chose juice. By the way, what are you going to do with this embroidery? The chairman asked. It's a level that can be entered into the collection. I promised someone to send it out. I fucking declined, and there is nothing to treasure, just embroidered at random. Chairman. Embroidered by hand? It's quite casual. He looked at Gu Huiyan, meaning to persuade I fucking. Don't look at me, I persuaded it, it's useless. Gu Huiyan was also heartbroken, but I know the person who sent it, and I can see it at any time. He had already made more than one note for Uzayan in the small notebook in his heart. The chairman sighed, okay, this is your work, you have the final say. After the meal, I fucking bid farewell to Gu Huiyan and the chairman. She called Uzayan, boss, where are you? He said succinctly, the gate of the city. Glen is an international film and television center and a tourist city. I fucking got into a sightseeing car and arrived at the city gate 20 minutes later. Many people were taking photos with the 7 statues at the city gate. The most tourists took photos in front of Yunlin's statue. There are many actors who do not hesitate to destroy their images in order to win the Grameen Award, just to let the audience and judges focus on their acting skills. But Yunlin didn't. Her acting skills are so perfect that even if she has a very perfect face, she will not let the audience's attention only stay on her appearance. That's why she was exceptionally awarded the Glen Lifetime Achievement Award. Uzayan sat in a wheelchair and looked forward quietly. His temperament is very outstanding, and his figure is not inferior in a lot of Westerners. I fucking walked over, pointed at the statue, and had learned not to change his face. Boss, have you seen the movie she made? Uzayan glanced at it and said lightly, I have seen it. Which one? Sunset and Eternal Flower. These two. I fucking thought for a while, then suddenly asked, then boss, do you believe I can surpass her? Uzayan's brows moved slightly and smiled slightly, I have always believed in you. I fucking was very motivated, I will go to the film after filming The Heroine of the Country, and I will win the award for the first film. Uzayan looked at her with deep eyes, well, I'll wait and see. The exhibition will be on display for a month. I fucking counted the days with his fingers. I have already told the chairman that he will send the embroidered pictures to Daxia. Boss, you can wait. He gave her many things. Especially such a precious weapon as the dragon sparrow feather. She can't be left behind. Uzayan's voice was very soft, a little more ethereal, I like embroidery very much. He suddenly remembered the most expensive enthronement gift he received when he enthroned in his previous life. The pure hand-embroidered dragon robe is still double-sided embroidery. The final thread collection is a bit rushed, but the flaws are not hidden. After years of fighting, he didn't wear the dragon robe much, but when he did, he would only wear this one. The history is long, and 1500 years have passed, and this dragon robe has also been lost. It's a pity. But what's even more unfortunate is that he couldn't say goodbye to the ghost either. I don't know where the reincarnation went. Even if Ji Chunyuan was asked to look for it later, he was never found. He didn't even know whether it was male or female. Some people say that he was born alone, and that he will not end well. He doesn't believe it, but sometimes he has to. But some people told him that it is okay to believe in fate, but not to accept it. Uzayan supported her head and was slightly lost. How can you say that you have no clothes, and you share the same robe with your son? No clothes. Good name. Boss, what are you thinking? I fucking met his empty gaze, stretched out his hand and shook it, go back to your senses. Sorry. Uzayan recovered, he coughed, let's go shopping. Although the International Youth Culture Exhibition is small, only people who really like art will visit it. But I fucking's traffic in the Daxia Empire is really not covered. Even many passers-by and netizens plan to visit Glen. Ji Qingwei's plagiarism was completely unstoppable. The Mooses were even more indignant and sent a lot of Weibo questions. Especially under the recording preview of The Birth of a Staff by netizens, some people said that it was because Ji Qingwei's embroidery picture won the award, and the program team could only go to Glen with all the light, which aroused public anger all of a sudden. The Ji family has such a big face, how can you still play this marketing method if you are not in the entertainment industry, and put all the benefits on yourself? Who is really low-key and clear at a glance? If she hadn't won the award, I wouldn't even know that Si still has the skill, so she is actually an artist. No wonder the staff birth story program team let her choose at will. I now suspect that she is not really a Chinese medicine doctor, right? It's a pity that she gave up a lot of highlights to the intern in the medical chapter. Si is also the only person whose job is an actor, but he is not an actor in Glen. He is a little bit dumbfounded. There are many pictures of the International Youth Culture Exhibition on the internet. Both Si 10,000 Miles of Rivers and Mountains and Ji Qingwei's low-profile version were filmed. Netizens were also surprised. Ji's family has no brains, isn't copying so similar to direct exposure, I don't understand. The reputation is bad now, maybe she copied the exam too. Don't dare to say, people are big and powerful, we civilians don't dare to say that they are dog-headed and body-protecting. It's so strange, so similar, and saying that the two have never met, wouldn't it be stealing their lives? The commentary was quickly drowned out in other speculation. Ji family. Ji Qingwei also found out what happened after secretly surfing the internet. She looked at Si face and then at the 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains, and finally became frightened. She has always had a secret that even Ji Longta and his wife don't know. As Ji Qinjiao said, she did take other people's luck. It was her 4-year-old who was seriously injured and dying. Her godfather saved her life, and it was her godfather who gave her everything. The reason why Master Ming Deng took care of her so much was because of the orders left by her godfather. It is also her godfather who said that as long as she survives this June, she will be able to recover, and those talents will only be hers. But her body was getting worse and worse, and she vomited blood many times. Ji Qingwei hadn't seen her godfather for a long time, let alone his contact information, and she didn't know whose fate her godfather gave her at that time. But the first time she saw Si, she knew that she was holding Si luck. It stands to reason that after the luck is plundered, the owner of the luck is absolutely impossible to live. But Si is not only alive, but also a big star. What exactly is going on? Although Ji Qingwei hadn't stepped out of the house since he was 4 years old, he didn't know the word top-notch. What does top traffic mean? It means that Si is the ceiling of the entertainment industry and has countless fans. Prettier than her and more famous than her. Indeed, there is no second profession that can raise awareness faster than a star. Even if Ji's family is building momentum for her now, she can't catch up with Si enthusiasm. 60 million fans are still live fans. Ji Qingwei was extremely anxious. The only thing she couldn't understand was how could Si be alive? What shocked her even more was that she just happened to meet Si at the same competition. As a result, her work was labeled as plagiarism. Ji Qingwei's thoughts were in chaos, and Master Zhuang rushed back. Ji Qingwei's eyes turned red. Teacher, they all said I was plagiarizing. Qingwei, teacher believes that you have difficulties in this matter. Master Zhuang tried his best to calm down, because you can't copy it in terms of time or space, you have never seen that painting at all. 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains, right? Ji Qing pursed his lips slightly and hummed softly, I really haven't seen it before. That's it. Master Zhuang was very excited, I haven't seen how to copy it. Could it be formed automatically in my mind directly across 1,800 miles? Brainwave transmission? It's so ridiculous, I don't believe you copied it. He didn't notice at all that after he finished saying this, Ji Qingwei's expression changed. Qingwei, the teacher will definitely return your innocence. Master Zhuang specially took out a piece of plain silk. You can embroider on the spot, you can do anything, and I will video you here. He definitely wants to correct Ji Qingwei's name. Ji Qingwei picked up the needle as usual, but his hand stopped. At this moment, all the types and stitches of embroidery in my mind disappeared completely. Qing still doesn't know that the two most important people in His Majesty's 2 lifetimes are all her 23,333. The last batch of peripherals was sent out today, everyone should be able to receive them next week. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 393. Can't remember anything. Ji Qing held the needle slightly, staring at the plain silk in a daze. She only felt an unprecedented panic, and the whole person could not calm down. What happened? Could the stolen luck be recovered? But her godfather's methods are sky high, it can be said to be comparable to a god. How could such a flaw occur? Ji Qingwei also knew that she hadn't been out of Ji's house since she was 4 years old, and she couldn't travel to the great rivers and mountains in Daxia and Wuzhou. If it hadn't automatically formed a picture in her mind, she wouldn't have thought about embroidering. According to the memory in her mind, she embroidered the map of the rivers and mountains for thousands of miles, but she still couldn't compare to Sci-fi. But now, she doesn't know how to embroider. Seeing her pale complexion and sweat dripping from her forehead, Master Zhuang asked with concern, "Qingwei, are you unwell?" "Teacher, I do feel a little sick." Ji Qingwei smiled reluctantly. "Embroidery consumes too much energy. I vomited blood yesterday, but I haven't recovered yet." That's it. Master Zhuang understood very well, but was still anxious. "But outsiders say you are plagiarizing, we can't let them slander you like that." Ji Qingwei's face turned paler, and her lips trembled. "I can't tell the difference, what can I do about it?" Alas, Master Zhuang also had a terrible headache. "Of course I believe you, but I can't produce evidence, and others can't believe it, so you should rest first and avoid the limelight, and I will discuss with your parents how to deal with this matter." The heat has dropped. The bad thing is that the birth of a staff went to Glen to record the show, and Ji Qingwei also collided with Sci-fi. The century-old giants look down on the entertainment industry, but they have to admit that the influence of stars is indeed very strong. Ji Qingwei's expression was pale. "Trouble, teacher." Master Zhuang collected the silk and left. Ji Qingwei's tense body shook like a sieve, and she covered her mouth forcefully. Luckily, it got messed up. What can I do after that? After a full hour, Ji Qingwei barely calmed down. She opened Weibo with trembling hands. She didn't dare to read other comments on the internet, but searched for information related to Sci-fi's education. Ji Qingwei finally breathed a sigh of relief after confirming that Sci-fi was a scumbag and was only in the 3rd year of high school this year. This aspect of art was not her main field of expertise, and it was just a pastime when she was bored. The most important thing is the international exam. She still has time. She has submitted a new generation of chip designs to the cloud. She didn't believe that Sci-fi also made achievements in this regard. What's more, Yunzhang, as the most advanced company in the global electronics field, is not accessible to everyone. She will win. What has already been on her is hers, and it is absolutely impossible for her to let it go. Ji Qing pursed his lips slightly and began to think about countermeasures in his heart. She was surprised that the original owner of Qi Luck was alive. With her godfather's ability, it was impossible for Sci-fi to live. It's a pity she can't contact her godfather. But her godfather also said that famous people have better luck than ordinary people. So I told her to make a name for herself, collect the power of faith, and strengthen her luck. Sci-fucking has 60 million Weibo followers. Even if she starts business now, she can't compare. She needs to think of another way to make Sci-fucking's reputation in the entertainment industry sour. Ji Qingwei pinched her pale palm with her fingernails, her eyes darkened. On the other hand, Glenn. The Birth of a Staff program continues to record. The medical chapter has been broadcast for 4 episodes, and the response has been very good, and Sci-fucking's fans have risen again. In response to the strong request of the audience, director Chin had to contact Daxia to prepare a 2-hour live broadcast. When the mooses heard the news, they came and cheered. Whoa, finally able to see a fresh wife. I've already watched Crossing the Devil 3 times, and I've watched the English version twice. Hurry up with the new drama. Go away, don't you have a wife yourself? Why rob my wife? Don't hit the front, Ching Ching is mine, y'all out of the way. Duan Jingtao was hit so hard yesterday that he didn't come to record the show today. After seeing Sci-fucking's 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains, other interns also knew that Sci-fucking was really capable, and they were a lot more polite to her. 90% of the live broadcast rooms are mooses. Song Wenhua is a child star with a lot of fans, and also has the title of National Sister, but it is not enough in front of top traffic. Although she was annoyed that the program team gave Sci-fucking more shots, she couldn't do anything about it. When I have time, I will give you some embroidery I designed myself. Sci-fucking waved to the camera. The new drama is The Girl of the Town. I will join the group in June, and it will be released by the end of the year. Already. This is Sci-fucking's official announcement that he is going to film Girls of the Town. The mooses are also very worried. After all, Sci-fucking has been scolded by history fans for more than one round before. For other stars, they would take idol dramas to further attract fans, but Sci-fucking resolutely chose to pick up a drama that had a 90% chance of collapsing all the reputation she had accumulated. Passers-by and netizens admire her courage. After the 2-hour live broadcast, the mooses were still reluctant to part. The official Weibo of the program group is full of reminders. Director Chin didn't even dare to look at the comment area. He put down the thermos cup. Let's put out the tidbits. It's rare for her to be high profile, and we can't hold back. The assistant director hesitated. Will it be released? Will the G family be over there? This plagiarism thing is so big, it's impossible for the G family not to act. What are you afraid of? Director Chin waved his hand. Mr. Si said that she will take care of everything, not to mention that we are just letting the facts out, not making up maliciously. The assistant director nodded, and soon arranged for post-production staff to start editing. Soon, the official Weibo of The Birth of a Staff released a tidbit of the International Youth Culture Exhibition. It clearly shows how Duan Jingtao first boasted about 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains, and then broke down when he discovered the name of the author of the embroidered picture. Netizens were shocked. Is there really someone who doesn't read the name before bragging? It seems that I have committed embarrassment, and I have been embarrassed to the point where my toes have pulled out a castle. I originally liked Duan Jingtao very much. My junior sister has a filter, so I definitely want to blow it, but you don't need to step on my goddess when you blow it, right? Hey, I didn't expect it. This picture was embroidered by Goddess Si, and I feel pain for you. However, the quality and education level of netizens are uneven, and there are always different voices. Is Sci-fucking really floating? Duan Jingtao is also a member of the Heaven and Earth Alliance, but you are not. Do you know how to respect seniors? I don't think this embroidery picture looks good. It's annoying. Ji Qingwei's name really caught fire, but it wasn't what she wanted. Type Ji Qingwei's name on Weibo, followed by the word plagiarism. Hashtag Sci-fucking, Ji Qingwei hashtag. Hashtag Ji Qingwei, plagiarism hashtag. The G family removed these two hot searches, but they couldn't stop the entire Musi army. G Kingwei's plagiarism is getting bigger and bigger, and he can't even suppress it. In the afternoon, G Longta and MRSG rushed back from Glen. "Mom!" G Kingwei cried and threw herself into MRSG's arms. "Mom, I really don't know what's going on. Believe me, I have no chance of copying her." "Mom believes in you, of course," MRSG reassured her, her voice hateful. "This star, the marketing has come to you, I really don't know whether to live or die." She doesn't care how SI fucking pulls people who step on the entertainment circle, but it's impossible for her to step on her daughter. "Mom," G Kingwei's expression changed, and he hurriedly said, "I'm fine, it's fine, don't be angry with others. After all, in the eyes of outsiders, it is indeed my fault. You think about others, but others won't think about you." MRSG was even more angry. "I think she didn't know how to read your embroidery drawings, and then found someone to embroider a better one. A star is in the entertainment industry all day long. Where does the time come from to embroider? It was simply Sifu who copied her daughter's work." "Okay, what's the use of you saying this? Do we have evidence?" G Longta looked impatient. "Suppress the news first." MRSG had a headache with anger. But as G Longta said, they have no evidence of Sifu's piracy. But G Kingwei has no chance of plagiarism. At this time, a voice sounded outside the door. "Uncle G, I'm here to deliver the medicine." "Come in." G Longta personally picked Yu Yao in. "It's really hard for you, you can come at this time, won't it cause you any trouble?" Yu Yao smiled and said, "Where is the trouble? This is what I should do." G Longta was very satisfied, and then he said tentatively, "What do you think about the embroidery?" Yu Yao frowned. He only knew that SI fucking won the first place in the Youth International Cultural Exhibition, but he never thought of it. But he completely believed that G Kingwei had no chance of plagiarism. But these two pictures can be said to be exactly the same. The layout is the same, even the orientation of the mountains, rivers, and seas is the same. The only difference is that G Kingwei's 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains is weak, and the lines are not so coherent. Wouldn't it be a life steal? As soon as this thought came to his mind, Yu Yao was stunned for a moment. He still remembered that the first time he saw SI fucking without makeup, he felt very similar to G Kingwei. Now there is the embroidery thing. Yu Yao pressed his temples and slowly let out a breath. What was he thinking about? How could there be such a mysterious thing? What's more, G Kingwei and SI fucking couldn't fight with each other. "I believe her." Yu Yao paused. "She wouldn't do such a thing." "Oh, just believe her." G Longta sighed. "Those people on the internet have no ability to judge. She is very hurt." Yu Yao put down the herbs. "I'll go in and see her." "Okay, you can stay with her more." G Longta was very relieved. "If she is petty, don't get used to her." Yu Yao nodded and went to the bedroom inside. G Longta lowered his face, and then asked his subordinates to withdraw from the hot search to reduce the popularity. At the same time, the disgust for SI fucking grew in his heart. "Sir, the heat is up again." The housekeeper hurried in. "That fan of SI fucking asked the second lady to apologize publicly." G Longta suddenly raised his voice. "What? A public apology? Crazy." The housekeeper hurriedly handed over the computer. On the screen is a Weibo. "At Huan who loves sweet and sour pork ribs, I hereby protest to the G family on behalf of all mooses. Miss G Kingwei must publicly apologize to Miss SI fucking on the whole network. Plagiarism will not be tolerated, otherwise there will be no way for the original to survive. Miss G Kingwei will not give up until she apologizes for a day. Once again, please ask Miss G Kingwei to publicly apologize to Miss SI fucking on the whole network." This Weibo has passed 50,000 retweets and is still rising. With the full cooperation of the mooses, the entry hashtag please G Kingwei apologizes to SI fucking hashtag was on the hot search again. The comments were also filled with outrage. Must apologize. Obviously, the program team is only able to go to Glenn because of the embroidered pictures of the baby. What does it have to do with your G family? It's okay to pretend to be your sister's honor, but also plagiarize. I've never seen such a shameless person. Is it a real wealthy lady? G Kingwei apologizes. But Sci-fi's black fans were not to be outdone. They help G Kingwei to speak, but it doesn't mean they are really towards G Kingwei, it's just that Sci-fi is not pleasing to the eye. Sci-fi, forget it, isn't it just hitting the picture? As for being so aggressive? Miss G is not in good health. How can you copy your embroidery pictures without stepping outside the door? You are letting your fans riot on an amateur. However, the mooses are extremely powerful, and the black fans are powerless. Ji Longta was so angry that he pointed to the Weibo of Huan Huan, who loves pork ribs. Check it out for me. Who is this ID? I really don't want to live with the rhythm in such a public way. I'll block it immediately after checking it out. Offend Ji's family, and don't look to see if you have that background. Lin Jiwan? Good morning, new week. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 394. The housekeeper responded in a hurry and began to let Ji's programmers locate the IP address of this Weibo immediately. However, the demand for Ji Kingwei to apologize to Sci-fi on the internet is getting higher and higher, and even if the Ji family has been deleting blogs and comments, they can't hold back at all. Ji Longta's face was gloomy. He really didn't expect that one day he would fall on the actor he despised. The influence of the top stars is really not that big. Shares of Ji's group also began to fall. Ji Longta decided to treat it coldly. Not responding now is the best response. There is not much disturbance in this matter abroad. After all, Sci-fi is not as famous in the world as the Great Xia Empire, nor does she have so many fans to support her. So Ji Longta and Ji Kingwei's ideas coincide. Give up the path of art and specialize in the field of scientific research. As long as the international entrance examination is in the top 10, and the employment letter of the core technical personnel on the cloud is obtained, who would dare to say that Ji Kingwei is not one? Ji Longta can't figure out the embroidery plagiarism incident, but he will not let people on the internet wantonly infringe on Ji Kingwei's reputation. When the technicians found out who sent the rhythmic Weibo, he personally took someone to deal with it. On the other side, the Western continent. The day's recording is over. At night, Glen was brightly lit and full of music. Here is the Art Film and Television Center, where there are many street performers singing and dancing. Ninth brother, according to the positioning sent by Miss Si, she should be here. Feng San pushed the wheelchair and looked around, wondering, why don't you see her? Just now, Si called him mysteriously and said that he wanted to surprise Yu Zion. Feng San was about to send a WeChat message to inquire about Sci-fi's location, when a lazy voice sounded from behind, with a bit of publicity. Hi, boss. Feng San was startled. Yu Zion turned his head and saw Sci-fi standing on the street with a black motorcycle behind him. She wears a long black leather jacket, which outlines her perfect figure. He wears sunglasses on his head and holds a helmet in his right hand. Lips are retro red, full of aggressiveness. It attracted many passers-by to look back frequently and make a sound of amazement. Yu Zion looked at her quietly and smiled. This girl is this. Sci-fi whistled and said, excuse me, this gentleman, can I invite you to go for a ride? Yu Zion raised her eyebrows. For a ride? The baby I borrowed. Sci-fi patted the back seat righteously. Boss, come here, I'll take you for a ride. This guy can drive really hard, let's try it. Xiaoyu loves cars and has collected many sports cars and motorcycles. This is the latest motorcycle from DW. It was launched last month. Xiaoyu bought it and has not driven it yet. The back seat of the motorcycle is spacious, more than enough for a tall man to sit down. Uzion paused, but still accepted the invitation and sat up. "Boss, don't just sit and hug my waist." I fucking looked back, took his hand and put it on his waist. "Very natural, my driving skills may be a bit scary, but I drive a motorcycle. It will still be a little more restrained, don't be afraid, there will be no danger to your life. At most, she has a track record of driving a motorcycle in other cars, which is nothing." Uzion's eyes changed suddenly. He coughed, clenched his hands into fists, and placed them lightly on either side of her, very gentlemanly. "It's a little itchy." I fucking said again, "Move your hands up a little." "Move up." Uzion fell silent. He didn't know whether to obey or not. "Hurry up." I fucking urged him, "What should I do if I throw you out later? Hurry up." Uzion pressed his eyebrows, he sighed, and he could only put his arms around her waist according to her instructions. The girl's waist is soft, because she exercises regularly, and she does not lose her energy and tenacity. He lowered his eyes darkened. The feel is really good. But only he knew what kind of torture he was going through. The restraint of the two worlds has been used here. But the perpetrators haven't noticed anything yet. I fucking held the handlebars and leaned down slightly. "She has bright eyes and high spirits, sit tight, let's go, I'm the most beautiful driver on this street today." Boom. The sound of the locomotive starting sounded, and the motorcycle disappeared. Feng San, who was blown away, said. One day he would watch Miss Si drive a motorcycle with Ju Ji for a speed ride on the street. He must be blind. Feng San was in a mess in the wind. He didn't know if he wanted to rent a motorcycle and go for a ride. At this moment, Mo Yanwen's phone came in. Mo Yanwen told him that the second session of the Psychology of Love was about to start, and reminded him to go back to class. Feng San thought for a while and said tentatively, "Patriarch, so the second class will assign girlfriends to members. It is said that practice is the only way to test the truth." He must have never practiced it before, so he was a step behind. Mo Yanwen. After a few seconds, he slowly said, "I don't know if a girlfriend will be assigned, but if you fail the course, you will be thrown into the Mo family office city." Feng San. Kind of scary. It must be because their family owner is also a single mother and child, that they want to abuse them more. He had to find an object first and show off to the other brothers. Feng San made a decision in his heart, and bought some books on the psychology of love on the internet, ready to study. He wants to learn quietly and surprise everyone. On the other side, Anken. Nian Yian has been very busy recently. While preparing for the college entrance examination and the international entrance examination, they also need to train game technology and how to control the ability of the evolutionary. After lunch, the devil training at the beginning of the year begins. Feel the chi in your body carefully. Nian Tingchu supported Nian Yian's shoulder. Exhale, inhale, control the power in the danshan. In just 1.5 hours of training, Nian Yian was already on the ground. That's right, Nian Tingchu handed him a bottle of sports drink. "You just woke up, your strength is not yet complete, you will get better after a while." Nian Yian finished a bottle of drink in one breath. He hesitated for a while, but still asked, "Dad, will you go back to Yin's house in the future?" Before Si fucking came back, his family could not be considered poor, but he was only able to eat enough. He didn't dare to spend money indiscriminately at school, and went back to the free window every day to get a few more steamed buns. Originally, Yin was ready to drop out of school and worked early to earn money. He never thought that he would have the blood of such a big family flowing through him. To the extent that a dream would not dare to do so. Looking at the world, the three evolutionary families are the real top families. After all, in the face of absolute strength, money and power are not worth mentioning. At the beginning of the year, the court was startled. After a moment of silence, he whispered, "Why go back? I killed so many people in the Yin family. If I go back, it will bring disaster to them again. I'm sorry for them, I..." He covered his face, tears streaming down his fingers. He has persisted until now. One is because of the Yin family's hatred, and the other is because of the mystery of the death of Nian Hechuan and his wife. But whether it is the former or the latter, there is little hope. There is absolutely no way to check. Even the chief elder of the Yin family is not the opponent of those people at the beginning, so what can he do? Nian Yin also fell silent. "It's not something you should take care of." Nian Tingchu slowed down, patted Nian Yin on the shoulder, and smiled. "It's time to go to school, prepare for the exam first. You guys are fine, I'm relieved." Well, Nian Yin clenched his fists and his eyes became firmer. "Dad, I will work hard." He packed his school bag and went to school. As soon as he entered the classroom, he saw Lin Jiwan frowning and staring at the phone, looking very angry. Nian Yin walked over. "What's the matter? You quarreled with black fans again?" "No, the Ji family threatened me." Lin Jiwan shrugged. "Well, they said they would call someone to block me." Take a look at Nian Yin. It was a private message. The private message said that Lin Jiwan's location had been found out and asked her to delete her Weibo immediately, otherwise she would be arrested on charges of infringing on Ji Qinggui's reputation. Nian Yin frowned. It's really a thief shouting to catch a thief. My sister didn't care about plagiarism. They dared to be so arrogant. Small thing. Lin Jiwan snorted coldly. Others are afraid of his Ji family, but I'm not afraid, who is not a wealthy family anymore. Lin Jiwan is also very low-key. She has been in Bizhu No. 1 middle school for 3 years, and no one knows that she is from the Lin family in 4th 9 City. Lin Jiwan didn't like to appear in public, and she didn't publicize anything. Many people in Sijukan didn't know her, but her identity was very popular. She is the only eldest young lady of the Lin family, and also has Lin Qingchen, a sage of Chinese medicine, as her elder brother. Many families have gone to the Lin family to ask for marriage, but they were all sent away by Lin Bojian using the excuse that Lin Jiwan did not graduate from high school. "Dad, I was bullied." Lin Jiwan immediately called Lin Bojian and began to complain. "I speak out for Qing and ask the plagiarists to apologize. What I said is obviously true, but the Ji family wants to close my account. Said that I slandered Ji Qinggui's reputation and wanted to arrest me. Woo woo woo, Dad, I'm so scared." Lin Bojian was so frightened that he immediately asked his secretary to book a plane ticket to Anken. After crying to Lin Bojian, Lin Jiwan hung up the phone with satisfaction. "That's it, my dad will come over later." Nian was shocked by Inda. He was silent for a while, and sincerely praised, "I think you can apply to the film school. This face change is really fast." That is, Fan Sui's Hong. Lin Jiwan was very proud. "Qingqing's acting skills are so good, of course I have to learn it. My family's baby Qingqing is really amazing, she can do anything, my mother is pleased." Nian Yin almost forgot that his roommate was his sister's fan. This generation is too messy to watch. But he should be relieved that Lin Jiwan did not regard him as a son. After school, Nian Yin and Lin Jiwan left school together. The Ji family's means are indeed very strong. After locating her through Lin Jiwan's Weibo, she directly found Bizhu No. 1 middle school. Ji Longta brought a few thugs over and blocked Lin Jiwan to the right. Lin Jiwan, right. Ji Longta felt that Lin Jiwan looked a little familiar, but he didn't think about it. "I have warned you again and again to delete that rhythmic Weibo. Since you are so stubborn, don't blame me for being rude." Lin Jiwan was a student of Bizhu No. 1 middle school, and he did not dare to make too much noise. But it's okay to teach. Nian Yin's eyes sank. He took a step forward and blocked Lin Jiwan behind him. Although he can't use the power of the evolutionary at will, but after the awakening of the evolutionary bloodline, his physical quality has also increased exponentially, which is not comparable to ordinary people. Coupled with Nian Ting's devil training for him at the beginning of the year, it was more than enough to deal with a few thugs. Lin Jiwan was not afraid, and sneered, "Why, what I said is the truth. If I can't solve the problem, I just want to solve the person who asked the question. Plagiarism is plagiarism. Everyone in our school knows that your daughter is plagiarizing. If you don't apologize, her reputation will be bad. Your G family is the emperor of Daxia, and you want to stop everyone's mouth." The fig leaf was uncovered by the junior, and the pain point was hit again. Ji Longta was furious. "You are presumptuous. If it wasn't for the Weibo posted by Lin Jiwan, things wouldn't have gotten hotter." Ji's face is completely lost. Ji Longta winked at the thugs behind him, trying to control Lin Jiwan. At this moment, a cold voice sounded, "Ji Longta, such a big person bullies the students, but you are a soft persimmon, you are so powerful." Ji Longta turned back and was about to get angry, but stopped when he saw the person coming. He frowned, "Bai Jian. What is Lin Bojian doing here?" "Bai Jian, this has nothing to do with you." Ji Longta frowned, "I'm just teaching her a lesson and telling her not to talk nonsense on the internet." "Ji Longta, it's okay if you bully others, you even bullied my daughter, and said it has nothing to do with me," Lin Bojian said coldly. "She will have the college entrance examination in less than 100 days, what went wrong? Can you afford it?" "Why, your daughter is a treasure, but my daughter is not." "Stop talking nonsense, your daughter has to apologize, and your G family have to apologize. Otherwise, he would be really bullied by the Lin family. It's not that Ching Ching is not enlightened, she currently treats His Majesty as a brother. Money, your worst enemy. See you tomorrow." After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 395. Lin Bojian was very angry. Although Lin Jiwan usually likes to hate him, but he is just such a precious daughter, and he is also petted on weekdays. It's just that Lin Jiwan likes to travel alone, and he euphemistically said that in order to train his independence, he made a special trip to Bizhu to go to school alone. Lin Bojian's persuasion was ineffective, so she could only secretly send someone to protect her. In my impression, Lin Jiwan had never cried like this before. Of course Lin Bojian would not be soft-hearted. Ji Longta's expression changed greatly. He had no idea that the Weibo he was targeting would actually be posted by the eldest Miss Lin family. Lin Jiwan, surnamed Lin. But the surname Lin was too big, and Ji Longta didn't think about it at all. Who would have guessed that Lin Jiwan was Lin Bojian's daughter? The Lin family and the Ji family didn't move much. Ji Longta only knew Lin Qingchen's name. "Bai Jian, this is a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding." Ji Longta smiled, "I don't know the identity of your maid, misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding? Don't pretend to me here." "Well, since it is a misunderstanding, it seems that you usually do too much of this kind of thing." Lin Bojian sneered, "Even my daughter, you dare to block the door directly, and then replace it with no right. No power, didn't you just ask for someone's life?" "Dad, this kind of person can't communicate with each other in the future." Lin Jiwan took 2 steps forward and took Lin Bojian's arm, bullying the weak, tending to be inflamed, just waiting to climb to a higher branch and step back. This sentence made Ji Longta shocked and angry, and he said sharply, "Sir, what are you talking about? Do you have any tutoring?" Bang! As soon as the sentence was finished, a heavy skullbag flew towards him and smashed Ji Longta directly to the ground. Ji Longta couldn't react, his forehead was smashed straight, and his nose bleeds. Nian Yian retracted his hand and inserted it into his trousers pocket. "My hand slipped." Lin Jiwan applauded him, "Wow, you are so good at the same table. You have slipped so far, but you still have to do today's paper if you have slipped so far." "Nian Yian. Lin Bojian glanced at Nian Yan calmly, and frowned slightly. Ji Longta came here and didn't get any benefits, and was injured, and the people he brought walked away in despair. Lin Bojian pulled Lin Jiwan to check her, and then lowered her voice, Huan, you haven't graduated from high school yet, so keep your distance from the opposite sex. Lin Jiwan was taken aback, my table mate is King King's cousin, dear. Lin Bojian quickly changed his words, oh, it's better to be closer. You help him learn more, and strive to come to Xia University together. Lin Jiwan looked at him with contempt, you really have double standards. Lin Bojian is not embarrassed, the essence of human beings is double standards. Of course, Miss C's treatment here is different from other people's. Okay, the company still has something to do. Dad will leave first, and then call me if something happens. Before leaving, he patted Nian Yan on the shoulder, young man, your physical strength is good. When you come to Sijukan, uncle will invite you to dinner. Don't pay attention to my dad. Lin Jiwan took out a piece of paper and wiped Nian Yan's skull bag, he's not normal all day long. Your father wanted to kill me before. Nian Yan was silent for a moment, it looks like he wants to eat me now. He didn't miss the momentary fierceness that Lin Bojian showed to him. Lin Jiwan carried her skull bag, so ignore him and leave. I'll treat you to fried skewers. The other side. Glenn's hotel. Ninth brother, the Ji family hasn't apologized to Miss Si. Feng San quietly entered the room, it seems that they are going to pretend to be dead. Yu Zian picked up the pen and wrote down a word on the paper, without raising her head, well, let the Ji family apologize. As always, the words are concise, and the voice does not fluctuate, but the momentum is self-contained and compelling. It's about Miss C's reputation, they have to apologize. Feng San frowned, ninth brother, there's something wrong with this, why do I think the Ji family is the same as the Zhou family before? You see that Zhou Xianyu's project style is the same as Miss C's, and Ji Qinggui's embroidery drawings are exactly the same as Miss C's. It's so strange. Miss Si was full of doubts, but his ninth brother didn't seem to care. But he was so curious, like a cat scratching. She needs help, give it to her, and tell her I'm always here. Yu Zian said lightly, the rest, you don't need to ask, she can talk if she wants to. Feng San nodded thoughtfully, and said with a serious expression that he understood. After quitting, he took the mobile phone memo and recorded one in the love book. Distance produces beauty, you must leave enough space for the other party. Overnight, the stock of Ji's group began to fall madly again, and the Ji family was in a mess. Dad, I'd better apologize. Ji Qing pursed his lower lip slightly, his expression pale, if you don't apologize, the stock will fall unbearably. This is someone taking advantage of the situation, it has nothing to do with that actor, she doesn't have such a big influence yet. Ji Longta's face was gloomy, of course you can't apologize, it's not your fault, I asked the public relations department to prepare it. I got the apology letter and took you out, the responsibility is all on me. Hearing this, Ji Qinggui breathed a sigh of relief, thank you Dad. Her godfather said that fame and prestige were also of great help to Luck. Prepare well for the exam. Ji Longta said, comparing Lin Jiwan, it should be more than enough, right? Yesterday, Lin Bojian made him lose face, and he remembered this hatred. Lin Jiwan went to Bizhu No. 1 middle school when he was not in the high school affiliated to Xia University. It can be seen that his grades will not be much better. It was easily crushed by Ji Cheng. I have no intention of comparing myself to others. Ji Cheng lowered his head slightly, as long as you do your best, you'll be fine. Ji Longta is very pleased, you can have such a heart, why not succeed, rest well, and don't think about anything else. The Ji family finally couldn't stand the pressure and publicly apologized to the whole network. But Ji Qinggui was not mentioned in the apology letter, it was only said that Ji Longta was confused for a while and saw Si Fucking's embroidery. In addition to this reason, Other words are also very sincere, admitting plagiarism. A few seconds later, SI fucking retweeted this Weibo. At V, I have read / at G's group V, apology. I died of laughter, I have read it, the G family can withdraw. Everyone knows, plagiarism is plagiarism, it is useless to take out G Kingway, find someone to blame. Hashtag G's group apologizes to SI fucking hashtag. With SI fucking's retweet, this entry quickly became a hot search, and the G family did not withdraw it after several times. More and more netizens know. Profoundly suspect that there is a gold master behind SI fucking. Don't you think that she is really not delicate or pretentious? She can be so arrogant in the entertainment circle without the sponsor. This year's paparazzi is really not good, and she hasn't even picked up her gold master. Laughs. What if she has a gold master? Who said that the gold owner can't be a pure money relationship? The drama Dragon Crossing has been on if you don't know how much benefit it can bring. She debuted for 3 years, except for the poor business ability in the first 2 years. Where is her character corrupted? Instead, it cleaned up a lot of dregs in the entertainment industry. I also hope that she and her sponsor will keep going. If there is really no background, how to deal with some people, I will laugh at some people who hold their own identities and kick the iron one by one. Pure relationship? It's just to lie to you little fans. I'll just say it straight, there is no one who is clean in the entertainment industry. You can see, she has only offended the G family now, her financial master can still keep it, and she will offend you later. If the family offends foreign forces, the gold master must be separated from her. Sang yanking. Really pure money relationship. Even though the gold master already wants to go further, but her family's artists are only interested in money. This is also very specific. Another day of saving on PR fees. Gigi Adeo's failure to apologize has no effect on SI fucking. When the 2 embroidered pictures were exhibited and seen by the guests, she felt that she had taken back a lot of luck. At the same time as her luck was withdrawn, her strength also recovered. In a awake state, there is only a thin line left from the A-level evolutionary. Third senior sister, I'm in a good mood today, let's go out for a walk. SI fucking stretched, have you finished visiting all the bars here? I don't have time to go shopping. Yuji wiped his hands, I was so busy dealing with some dregs that I didn't have time to touch the little bartender's abdominal muscles. SI fucking's fox eyes narrowed, what? There are a lot of evolvers on the periphery of Glen, and none of the evolvers here are in charge. Yuji frowned, there are quite a few low-level evolvers, but they don't actually have any evolver abilities, but they like to bully ordinary people. Enjoy it. After all, other places are not like the Great Xia Empire where there are supernatural administrations guarding and constraining the evolutionaries of the 5 states of Great Xia. The evolutionary circle was originally a prey to the weak, and killing could be seen everywhere. There are also rules within the Evolutionary Alliance and the 3 evolutionary families, and advanced evolutionaries cannot take action against ordinary people. But those scattered evolutionaries like to be intimidating in small places, so as to prove that they have evolutionary genes, and they are different from ordinary people and are the sons of heaven. Yesterday I met a few evolutionaries holding 2 ordinary people. Yuji pressed his temples, the solution is solved, and the bar was closed in fright. SI fucking nodded slightly, then let's have a drink today. Yuji unhooked her lips and looked at her with a smile. SI fucking raised his hand in time, I don't drink, I drink juice. Let's go. Yuji put his hand on his shoulder, maybe I will meet a few brothers and sisters again, and it will be lively. The 2 changed their faces and went to the bar street outside Glen. It was already 12 o'clock, but the street was still very lively. SI fucking bought a glass of juice and was about to enter the bar with Yuji when he heard cries coming from the front. Several men dragged the 2 girls and walked in the direction of the dark alley. A boy jumped up, but was kicked in the abdomen by the middle-aged man at the head and fell down. That's not all, Another middle-aged man stepped forward and punched and kicked at the boy again, cursing while beating, "I'm playing with your girlfriend, I look down on you. Hurry up, or you will die." When the girl saw the boy being beaten, she screamed, and as soon as she screamed, she was slapped on the face. The middle-aged man holding her said coldly, "Be honest and obedient." "It's here again." Yu Jian glanced at it, his eyes became cold. E-level evolutionary without the ability of evolutionary. Not all evolvers have evolver abilities, and E-level is the lowest level. But as long as there are trained evolutionaries, ordinary people are no match. Sci-fi hummed lightly and stepped forward. Both girls were caught, with red marks on their faces, apparently slapped a few times earlier. The people around didn't dare to step forward. The middle-aged man hummed, grabbed the girl and was about to leave. His arm was suddenly grabbed, and he couldn't move half an inch for a while. The middle-aged man frowned, his voice colder, "Who is courting death? Didn't see other people dare to move, actually came to destroy their good deeds." Sci didn't move, and his voice was calm, "Let go." "Yo, this is also brought to the door." The middle-aged man was stunned for a moment, and then smiled, "Not bad, in good shape, I want this too, give this to me in a while, and the two will be divided between you." The latter sentence was addressed to his companion. A few ordinary people, who have no ability to resist, deserve to bump into him. He doesn't play, and he's sorry for the people God gave him. Another girl collapsed on the ground, already crying. But still made a weak voice, "Miss, you run, they beat people very hurt, you are not an opponent, run." Ordinary people don't know the existence of evolutionaries, so the two girls just think that these middle-aged people have better physical fitness than others. Even the few boys who were with them were powerless. Sci-Fu's eyes narrowed, hiding the cruelty in the bottom of her eyes. She smiled, "It's not loose, is it? Very good. Another senior is about to appear." 2333. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 396. This little girl thinks she can beat a man. The middle-aged man had a wretched expression, a greasy expression, and laughed loudly. "I didn't see anyone else's wink. What kind of hero are you trying to play? Want me to let go?" A few accomplices next to him have stepped forward. The two girls they arrested earlier had lost their mobility, and they were not worried about them escaping at all. At this moment, they all approached Sci. The people around were also a little anxious, and they all called for her to run away. Sci lowered his eyelashes, as if remembering something, and the anger between his brows couldn't be suppressed again. The middle-aged man sneered, "I'm afraid, it's too late, grab them together, have a good time today." He was about to exert force on his hand, but suddenly felt his wrist go numb, and he couldn't exert any strength in an instant. Before he could regain his senses, his shoulders were also buckled, and the next second turned around. Boom! A fall over the shoulder, the middle-aged man was smashed to the ground, and his eyes suddenly gleamed with gold stars. The internal organs were even more colicky, and the pain was so painful that I couldn't breathe. The footsteps of several accomplices stopped, and they looked at Sci in disbelief. They have been bullying ordinary people for a long time, all under the leadership of middle-aged men. As an evolutionary, a middle-aged man is even more powerful. How could he be knocked down by a girl? Sci looked down and said lightly, "Bullying ordinary people, right?" Boom! Kick the center of the nest. The middle-aged man broke out in cold sweat from the pain, and his screams were heartbreaking. Sci didn't stop, and he kicked again. "Think you are very powerful as an evolutionary." Crack! Another kick. The sound of the rib breaking is very clear. The girl who fell to the ground has been stunned. Si fucking bent down and smiled softly, cold and cold, E-class, that's amazing. One sentence after another, all pressing the nerves of the middle-aged man. And this last sentence made him almost heartbroken. If you can see his evolutionary level at a glance, he must be a B-level evolutionary. He actually bumped into an advanced evolutionary. How can that be? What do advanced evolutionaries do in such a place? And still care about this kind of business? Their evolutionary people are the new human beings in this world, and ordinary people without evolutionary genes will be eliminated. Come on, bully. Si fucking grabbed the middle-aged man's collar and lifted him up. What is bullying an ordinary person? How about a fight with me? The middle-aged man's legs were weak, and there was fear in his eyes, and he began to frantically beg for mercy. Forgive your life. Lord, forgive your life. Not to mention the B-level evolutionary, even if it is a D-level evolutionary, he is not an opponent. Isn't it very capable? Huh, Si fucking smiled. Why did you slip and kneel? Don't kneel, stand up, show your momentum, and let me see how amazing you are. The middle-aged man was even more frightened. He couldn't bear it and passed out. Useless thing. Si fucking released his hand and turned to look at the other accomplices of the middle-aged man. The legs of several accomplices were also shaking. Think I'm a girl who can't beat you guys? Si fucking moved his wrists and said lightly, then try. Little girls, don't be afraid at this time. An ant was filled with righteous indignation. Team Zero is here, they can't escape. Someone reported this to Zero just now. Zero immediately dispatched an investigator. As soon as he arrived, he saw Si fucking holding a few middle-aged evolutionaries in one hand and beating them violently. Beating is a light word. It's pretty quiet around. After a few seconds of silence, an old lady began to applaud. Several investigators were stunned. Sir, this girl is too. There is a huge disparity in strength between men and women. It is also a 0-level 8th-level agent. If the female agent and the male agent compete in pure power, there is no chance of winning. This is where flexibility and fighting skills are needed. But the girl in front of her is just beating people with her strength, without any skills at all. Boxing, elbowing, mad and violent. How terrifying is this power? With a slap, a polar bear can be stunned, right? The young man's expression was cold. Catch it, and send the injured to the hospital. Relying on the fact that he is an evolutionary person, but he has no ability to fight recklessly with advanced evolutionary people, and instead finds a sense of existence in ordinary people, this is the scum among the evolutionary people. Yu-Ji-un stretched out his hand, pressed Si fucking's shoulder, and lowered his voice, little junior sister, Zero's person is here. Si fucking suppressed the violence in her eyes. She paused for a few seconds, and then stretched out her hand, feeling aggrieved like a little fox. Sister, my hand is swollen, it hurts. Yu-Ji-un entered the play in a second. You can't hurt your hand, sir, these people are too much, they must be caught. The investigator on the side twitched when he heard this. The young man nodded slightly. He had no expression at first, but just as he retracted his gaze, he stopped abruptly in the middle. His eyes stayed on a red mole on Yu-Ji-un's palm, and his expression changed suddenly. He glanced sharply at Yu-Ji-un, and checked her dimensions visually. Sir, everyone has been arrested, the search officer said. The injured have also been sent to the hospital, and we can evacuate. To his surprise, the young man did not intend to close the team, but took a few steps forward and took out his notebook. Routine inquiry, what's your name? Wang Xiaomei. Yu-Ji-un casually used a pseudonym, and did not forget to ask, you are very handsome, can I ask for your contact information? Si fucking. Her 3 senior sisters are actually very dedicated. Directly began to set information on the person Zero. The man paused, his eyes locked tightly on Yu-Ji-un's face, and slowly spit out 3 words, Huo Yangzing. Oh, Daxia people, Yu Jian continued, I also have Daxia blood, maybe we are a family back to our ancestors. Sir, you look pretty good. Huo Yangzing pursed his lips were cold. The woman who threw him a stack of money and ran away didn't even recognize him. Very good. Sir, my sister is injured, and her hands are precious. Yu Jian folded her hands together. Do they have to pay something? And my sister is so angry, so there must be a mental damage fee, right? Huo Yangzing. Zero's investigators also said. They were so blind that they couldn't see who was injured. Who is mentally lost? Well, it will be settled, Huo Yangzing said lightly. Leave a contact information. Yu Ejian reported one of his several mobile phone numbers. Sir, come out for coffee when you have time. Huo Yangzing glanced at her again, without saying a word, and then left with the investigators. That should be a senior member of Zero. Yu Jian held the contact information in hand. No loss, no loss. Si fucking turned his head. Third senior sister, don't you think the way he looks at you is a little strange? What's so strange? Yu Jian hugged his arms. This little brother may have a facial paralysis, or he was frightened by the way you beat people. It's not me who sees it, so you won't be a scumbag at some point, right? Si fucking looked suspicious. I feel that his expression is very aggrieved. Impossible, I've changed my face. I haven't used this face a few times today. Yu Jian unrolled his eyes, and at most I'm teasing. I will be more serious when I perform tasks. I don't sell myself. She's still a yellow-flowered girl. Si fucking nodded. This is true. Her third senior sister is just eloquent. After all, I can't remember a face. The spiritual evolutionary is a face blindness patient, and it is a joke when it is spread, but it happened. Let's go. It looks like this drink won't work today. Yu Jian sighed. Just go for a walk, but it's a good thing that there are no people here. They will rectify this place. The other side. Huo Yan was about to take away a few middle-aged men who caused trouble and sent them to Zero's interrogation center. He looked at the phone number on the notebook in silence, took a deep breath, put it back in his coat, and pressed his temples tiredly. Not far away, several investigators were gossiping. You joined the team late, you don't know that our chief is miserable, a search officer said. A few years ago, I went to a criminal organization to be an undercover agent. No more, no wife, alas. A rookie investigator was stunned and caught the key points precisely. Oh, I see, the officer doesn't have a girlfriend. They are all single dogs, who is more noble than the other? Huo Yangzing heard it. He turned his head to look at the new investigator. His eyes were cold. The rookie investigator immediately shut up and shivered. He felt that their superior was going to kill. Huo Yangzing took out his mobile phone, paused, and dialed a mobile number. After a few beeps, it was connected. Yangzing. It's me, I'm back to Team Zero. Huo Yangzing paused. Xian, I found the woman at that time. Yu Zian frowned. Have you found it? Well, Huo Yangzing frowned. She changed her face. I recognized her, but she didn't recognize me. It was not easy when he carried out his mission. Then there is only one possibility, the woman has forgotten him. Although it was indeed an accident, how could such a thing be forgotten? He remembered it for 3 years. The good couldn't be better. Yu Zian supported her head. Well, this is probably the scumbag mentioned on the internet. Huo Yangzing. After a few seconds, he slowly said, are you still going online? My girl is a big star. Yu Zian's voice was light. I always have to keep pace with the times. Huo Yangzing, your family? A big star. He felt like he had been in the Free State for 2 years and the outside world was different. After the call, Huo Yangzing took out the book again, staring at the series of numbers on it in a daze. With the contact information, he is not afraid that this woman will not acknowledge the account in the future. There is ample time. Early the next morning, Director Cheen went to the Glen Memorial Hall to shoot the show as instructed by Daxiatai. The Memorial Hall has the history of film development, as well as a showroom for the best films of each session of Glen, including wax figures of every actor and actress. At the end of the first half day of recording, the program team specially packed a small cafe to rest. Last night I was busy beating people and didn't sleep well, I fucking was resting. Beside, Song Wenhua communicated with several other star guests. A female star exclaimed, "Wow, you have a good relationship with the child shadow queen, she actually gave you a ticket to the Glen Film Festival." Tickets for the film festival are just to visit. Although it does not mean that you can walk the red carpet, it doesn't matter if you can't get it. It's okay, I played mother and daughter with teacher Tong when I was a child. Song Wenhua smiled, I can contact her to see if she has any extra tickets and share them with you. After a pause, but isn't the relationship between teacher Si and teacher Tong not very good? Do you need my help to mediate? Under the strong request of the audience, Crossing the Devil had 2 rounds of starships on the Starlight platform. The second round has to be played, and Tong Luyuan's The Great Zhao Dynasty can only enter the finale for the first time. 70 or 80 episodes in length, the rhythm is still very slow, and many viewers are exhausted by the end. Not only did the ratings not improve, but it also fell from episode to episode. The Zhao Dynasty can be said to be the peak at the beginning, but Dragon Crossing has created one record after another. The 2 TV dramas that were launched at the same time, plus before the launch, from the main creative team to the staff of the Zhao Dynasty, all looked down on Demon, and it was inevitable that they would be pulled out by the marketing account for comparison. Tong Luyuan, as the head of the 4 major actresses and the queen of 3 golden actresses, did not get any advantage in this TV drama competition. Everyone in the circle knows that the conflict between her and Si fucking has reached an irreversible point. Si fucking opened his eyes. Teacher Si, in fact, we still have to respect the seniors. Song Wenhua said, the entertainment industry is so big, and sooner or later we will have to cooperate, so there is no need to get along with the seniors. If you apologize to teacher Tong, it will not cause trouble. So stiff, you are still an agent anyway. You take a step back, and we can go to the film festival together. The Glen Film Festival is not an ordinary film festival. Why be so willful? Si fucking raised his eyes, have you finished? Song Wenhua was stunned for a moment, speak, finish. She was a little unhappy. She kindly persuaded Si fucking, why does Si fucking seem to be indifferent? Having a good relationship with Tong Luyuan, the film circle can also get away. There is a wall between the TV and movie circles. Si fucking doesn't even understand this. You reminded me. Si fucking straightened up and began to draw out his pockets. After digging for a few seconds, she casually tossed out a stack of film festival tickets. Obviously, the third sister is the most difficult to chase. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 397. The Black Ticket, with golden ironing, blinded people's eyes. Tickets are still numbered. It's pretty quiet around. Everyone looks straight at Si fucking with a stunned expression. Song Wenhua was also shocked. Tong Luyuan has a good relationship with her, but the entertainment industry is of the highest interest. There are no permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The ticket for the Glen Film Festival in her hand was obtained by exchanging resources. The resources that were replaced made her very painful. It might not be a loss to get a ticket to the Glen Film Festival. If you meet a top director at a film festival, you can go straight to the world. Therefore, many celebrities like to rub the red carpet. How could Si fucking have so many tickets in his hands? Song Wenhua pursed his lower lip and squeezed the ticket in his hand. She heard her voice speak in a trance, Mr. Si, these tickets of yours seem to be different from the one that teacher Tong gave me. Si fucking ignored her, picked up the ticket and threw it to Director Chin. Director Chin, I have a lot of tickets for the film festival here. Let's call everyone to go together. Director Chin almost knocked over the thermos cup in his hand, and he raised his voice abruptly. What did you say? Because no one has broken into Glen for too long in the Great Xia Empire, tickets for the film festival are not easy to get. There are only a few movie stars and actresses in the country. Tong Luyun is one of them. But they have at most 3 or 4 tickets in hand, and they will only be distributed to those close to them. The Glen Film Festival is not only helpful for actors, but directors can also learn a lot from it. Song Wenhua was able to get the ticket, but Director Chin said it was a lie not to be envious. As a result, Si fucking threw a stack at him directly. Director Chin looked at the stack of tickets in his hand, and his hands trembled. What kind of bossy behavior is this? Anyway, it's useless for me to ask for so much, Si fucking lazily said. Let's watch it together. If you don't watch this junk sale, it won't sell for much money. Gu Wenzu allocated so many tickets for her, she left a few tickets for Yu Zion, but there were still more than a dozen tickets. It's a waste not to send it out. Director Chin. Selling Glen movie tickets for scrap. Listen, is this human? Also, this female star has basically never done human affairs. No one cares about Song Wenhua anymore, including the art interns, all scrambling to squeeze in front of Director Chin. Director, teacher Si said that you want to bring us all with you, don't forget it. Director Chin, we've all seen it, you can't even hide the ticket for personal use. That's right. Teacher Si said everyone to go together. Director Chin had a headache when he heard it, so he had to divide the votes. After everyone got the tickets, they all cheered around Si fucking. Teacher Si is so amazing, he can get tickets for all of us. Where did Teacher Si get this ticket? Do you really want money? No, it's given by someone else. Si fucking put on his coat and waved at Director Chin. Director Chin, I'll go to the hospital and come back before the show is recorded in the afternoon. Director Chin was still in a dreaming state, he nodded subconsciously, go ahead. As soon as Si fucking left, the others dispersed. Previously, Song Wenhua asked Si fucking to apologize to Tong Luyun, and other stars already felt that something was wrong. Tong Luyun holds her own identity, and if she has to compare with the new generation of actors, she will not admit it if she loses. Why do you ask Si fucking to apologize? With the emotional intelligence of Song Wenhua, if she is not a child star, with the filter of national sister, she is not popular. The female star held the ticket contentedly. Mr. Si is amazing, how can she be so amazing? Song Wenhua still pursed her lips and said in a low voice, she is different from what teacher Tong gave me. Really? The female star compared the 2 tickets and suddenly realized, it's not the same, you are from District D, and teacher Si gave it from District A. Area A and Area D, in the end which area has the most valuable tickets, it is clear at a glance. Song Wenhua's face turned red all of a sudden, and an extremely strong sense of humiliation flooded her heart, almost drowning her. She lowered her head, not daring to look at other people's eyes at all. Painting, this is your ticket for Area D, not in the same place as us. The female star, how about you ask Director Chin for a ticket for Area A? He still has it. Song Wenhua reluctantly smiled, no need, I will enter the venue with teacher Tong. Tong Luyun is only a ticket in the D area, how could Si fucking get so many tickets in the A area? Song Wenhua was full of doubts, but he couldn't ask. She lowered her head even lower and said nothing. Here, Si fucking changed his face again and went to the hospital. Is it better? Si fucking walked to the bedside, is there any discomfort? The boy's injuries were even worse, with a cast on his arm, and he was still asleep. The girl's condition is slightly better. After taking the medicine, she has regained some strength. After seeing her, the girl's eyes brightened. "Miss, you are so good. If she had such good skills, she wouldn't be bullied on the street. Those middle-aged men are really too scary, and I am afraid that even those who have been exercising all year round can't break free. It's all practiced." I fucking patted her head. "Zero will rectify this area. You are the victim, you are not wrong, but you can practice self-defense in the future." The girl nodded. "I'll take my boyfriend to practice boxing together when I go back." Fu nodded. She didn't mention the evolutionary thing. Indeed, no matter how much ordinary people practice, they are no match for the evolutionary. But one more self-defense skill is always good. Footsteps sounded at this moment. "Sir Huo," the girl's eyes lit up again. "Miss Sister is here to see us, she's really awesome." Si fucking turned his head and raised his eyebrows. Is it difficult for Zero people to look at their faces when interviewing? Huo Yangxing glanced in the ward, his lips tensed slightly. "Where's your sister?" "Ah," Si fucking thought for a while. "Find a new bar to touch the bartender's abs." Huo Yangxing. His face was faintly green. Si fucking immediately saw a business opportunity. She was very concerned. "Sir, do you have poor heart and lung function? My family sells medicine. Would you like to buy some? A man's heart and lung function is not good, which means his health is not good." The words "no" made Huo Yangxing's eyes narrow and sharpened instantly. He was silent for a while, but he spoke again, his voice gnashing his teeth. "How much? You're a newbie, it's not expensive or expensive." Si fucking took out a bottle of medicine from his bag, and opened the receipt code with his other hand. "I'll give you a 50% discount for the newbie period, and I'll charge you 1,111. Huo Yangxing. He suspects this is connoting him, but he has no proof. Huo Yangxing scanned the code and put away the medicine bottle. "Touch the bartender's abs? Oh, scumbag. Good," he remembered. In the afternoon, with the help of the chairman of the International Art Association, the program team rented a medium-sized performance hall in Glen. The audience was booked 5 days ago, and there were a total of 2,000 people present. There is a game warm-up before you start recording. This recording is mainly for theatrical performances, so the games prepared are also related to theatrical performances. Director Chin chose a game in an interactive challenge variety show, Microphone. There are 5 people in a round of microphones, and each member is separated by a partition and wears headphones to isolate other sounds. After watching a clip of the movie, the member in charge of the first team will pass all the lines on the line card to the next team through interpretation until the end. Which team retells more lines wins. A total of 12 star guests and art interns were divided into 2 teams. Duan Jingtao came today. In the rest area under the stage, he looked at Si fucking viciously. "You copy my junior sister's picture, you will be exposed sooner or later." Si fucking didn't look up, just said 3 words lightly, "Tianlaget." Duan Jingtao changed his position in shock, and his head was still a little numb after he was far away from Si fucking. The G family has apologized. How could it be Goddess Si plagiarizing? On the side, the male intern frowned. "Mr. Duan, you have some ability to judge." Duan Jingtao muttered, "I only believe in my junior sister, I have seen her true skills." After he finished speaking, he stopped talking. Program recording starts. Si fucking played on behalf of the red team, and she was placed in the last one. When the screen began to play the movie clip, there were bursts of exclamations from the audience. The actress in charge of the first baton relay was also stunned. "Director, is this serious?" The host pressed the headset, and after a few seconds, he said with a smile, "Seriously, seriously, it's just a game, the pressure is too much." But backstage, the director team didn't dare to breathe. "Who prepared the lines?" Director Chin was full of anger. "Will you prepare?" This person will be fired in the next issue. Now there are many variety shows related to film and television dramas, and some shows will invite actors from the younger generation to reproduce the classic works of old actors. But it is undeniable that a classic is a classic and cannot be surpassed. Therefore, after such programs are broadcast, they will inevitably be compared. But for the program effect, even director Chin never expected that the staff in charge of choosing the lines would choose Yunlin's movie. Crazy. Yunlin is a legend in the film and television industry. After so many years in the Great Xia Empire, she is the only one who has an unparalleled position in the world. She is the youngest recipient of the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award. There are also foreign audiences at the scene today. It can be said that Yoon Eun's status in the Western continent is higher than that of their local movie stars. In Glenn's movie of Yoon Lan, it was Ban Men playing an axe. The assistant director also realized the seriousness of the matter, and he stammered, "Well, why not suspend the recording?" "Pause the recording," Director Chin sneered, "thanks for being a director, you can come up with such a low-level way." He had already told the host to continue recording, and there was no way to stop it. The clip played on the screen was a movie made by Yoon Lan when she was 20 years old. Eternal Flower. Based on a true story, the film tells the story of a young female doctor who travels to a war zone to treat wounded soldiers. At the end of the movie, she contracted a serious illness and died at the age of 24. This film not only allowed Yoon Lan to successfully defend her title as the Grameen Queen, but also won the Best Director Award and the Best Cinematography Award. It's not good to touch anyone, but Yoon Lan. You will be scolded when you perform, and you will be scolded when you can't perform. After the actress watched the clip, she passed the line to the next person completely. But people's memory is different, and there are many mistakes in the process of sound transmission. By the time the fourth bat and SI fucking handed over, there was almost nothing left of the lines. SI, teacher SI. The actor was very ashamed. "I just remembered the phrase Mama loves you, and there are other stars and the like, and the rest are gone." The audience below had a lot of discussion. The actor's line skills in this class are really bad. Let's not talk about the acting skills, and I can't remember the words. The first thing is to read according to the lines. Although there is no rival actor in this section of The Great Demon King, what about your feelings and eye scenes? Everyone has seen Eternal Flower, right? SI fucking should be able to remember a few sentences. That's really not sure. She's too young, so she probably hasn't seen it. Come on, teacher SI, what lines have you heard? The host held the microphone. "Just to remind you, this is a line from teacher Yunlin in Eternal Life, which is a video she gave her child. It's very long. Part of." After a few words from the host, he handed the microphone to SI fucking, but he didn't hold out much hope. Even director Chin, who believed in SI fucking so much, didn't hold out much hope. Eternal Flower is a movie from 8 years ago, and SI fucking's generation of actors have seen it once or twice at most. After so many years, it is estimated that even director Chu Lingyun would not be able to memorize the lines completely, let alone others. SI fucking moved his wrist and hummed, "Then I'll try it casually." The eyes of all the audience in the audience were focused on her. Almost everyone is an idea. Hopeless. Ching ching, I play myself. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 398. This line intercepted by the program team is very long. Although it is the monologue of the heroine before her death alone, there is no rival scene. The lines are also very common and colloquial, without any gorgeous rhetoric, just a mother's sincere blessing to her child. But this monologue is very difficult to act, whether it is the change of tone or the eyes. Yoon Lan was only 20 years old at the time, but she showed this complex maternal love and reluctance, and was also demonstrated by Xia Ying's teacher as a classic plot. The reason why a legend is a legend means that no one surpasses it. But now calling stop is really useless. What's more, the microphone was already in Sci-Fi's hands, so director Chin could only continue to shoot. Song Wenhua was in the blue team, and she did not expect that the red team would get a fragment of the lines of Eternal Flower. Although it is only a warm-up game, it is also a competition, and she has a strong competitive spirit. So after the clip was released, Song Wenhua decided that she had won. Especially the guy in charge of the fourth bat didn't give any useful information at all. How could Sci say it and try it? When is it playing at home? Sci could say one sentence of this monologue, and she wrote her name upside down. Song Wenhua snorted lightly and looked up at the center of the stage. In an instant, Sci-Fi's eyes changed. Although she is still a fresh 19-year-old, she looks like a mother at the moment. The charm of top actors lies in their demeanor and eyes. It is still the same face, but it can bring the audience into the world of the play for a second. Hope you are doing well, she smiled at the camera. Are you 18 this year? I hope you, at the age of 18, can meet someone who truly loves you. I hope your life will be smooth and safe, and you will get what you want. Mom couldn't watch you grow up, but as long as you look up, you can see the star in the east. That's the mother's homeland. The world is barren, but you who love never die and work hard for your life will always be your mother. Proud. If one day, you fail to do what you want, I also hope that you have the courage to do it all over again. When Sci arrived here, some audience members had already stood up, and there was only consternation on their faces. The host was stunned, forgetting the next part. This is more than just repeating all the lines, this is simply a perfect reproduction. But at this moment, suddenly, Sci-Fi's temperament changed again. She turned sideways and turned her head slowly. Director Chin's eyes widened suddenly, staring at the camera screen. Those who are familiar with the movie Eternal Flower also know that this is the last line of the heroine in the movie. It's a flashback. Before she died, the heroine had a conversation with another person. The man asked her if she could have lived a rich life, but she went to the battlefield to practice medicine at a young age. How come? The mountains and rivers know me, the wind and the moon know me, and the thousands of miles of rivers know me. Her voice was light. Death is not the end of life, I don't regret it. She raised her head and smiled softly amidst the falling snow. The whole place was dead silent. Even the sound of breathing disappeared. The audience was just shocked. No makeup, no styling, just through changes in his eyes and expressions, Sci made himself 5 years older. Acting like magic. The male intern in charge of the fourth team was stupid. He looked at Sci blankly, and his whole person was in a state of who am I and where am I? Of the lines he gave, only mom and star were correct. The male interns only thought they had lost. But now, this TM also works. Okay, Sci came out of the play for a second and regained his lazy expression. I remember that this is the last line of my favorite heroine, right? This sentence barely pulled the others back from their shock. Yes, it's gone. The host opened his mouth wide. All right? Also, he performed exceptionally well. The last paragraph was not cut in the editing of the clip, but Sci performed it exactly. It's not reciting words, it's acting. The host wiped his sweat secretly and forced himself into a state. Have our teacher Sci watched Eternal Flower? Well, Sci said honestly, I've read it twice. The first time was when the movie was edited, and Chu Lingyun let her watch it before sending it to trial. The second time it was released worldwide, she went to the cinema to watch it. The host froze. No matter how strong his business ability was, he couldn't maintain his expression. Twice, it's been a long time since I revisited it. Sci brows and eyes were still calm. I didn't act well and made everyone laugh. Everyone. Director Chin. Leave this for everyone Versailles. Is it bad acting? The assistant director opened his mouth wide, and his brain became hot. Old Chin, do you think Miss Si is the reincarnation of Yun Lan? This mother hummer is really exactly the same. Director Chin, I think you might as well ask her for medicine for her brain. Reincarnation is out. What with what? He also descended to the earth as the Jade Emperor. Director Chin snorted coldly, then looked at the screen. The red team got the perfect score without any surprises. No one paid attention to the performance of the blue team next, and the audience was still immersed in Sci-Fi's impromptu performance. The clips that the blue team got are not Yunlan's movies, but they are also the lines of a Grammy actor. Song Wenhua made the last stroke, and at the end only repeated 2 sentences stutteringly. After verification by the host, only 7 words were correct in the 2 sentences. Song Wenhua didn't know how she lasted until the show was finished. She felt a little regretful. Knowing this earlier, she wouldn't come to participate in this variety show, and she served as a control group for Sci-Fi for no reason. If she doesn't show any highlights in the future, she really participated in this variety show for nothing. Song Wenhua pursed his lips and began to think about countermeasures in his heart. The director team is here. Daxiatai has given absolute priority to the birth of a staff program group. Today's 2-hour recording is a fine-tuned piece. Because under the leadership of Sci-Fi, the recording effect was surprisingly good. With a wave of his hand, Director Chin carried out editing and post-production overnight. On the 3rd day, it went online on the entire Daxia Empire. He didn't put Yunlan's name on the title in order to gain Yunlan's popularity. After all, Sci-Fi has not won the award yet, and her status is too far from Yunlan's. It is inevitable that a group of netizens will criticize her. As expected by Director Chin, this extra episode successfully shocked many people. The internet began to discuss Sci-Fi's performance overwhelmingly. Have you watched it twice and performed it word for word? What kind of memory is this? Memory is not enough, acting skills are needed. I evaluate her scene from a professional point of view. It is definitely a top level. You can see the speed at which she enters the scene. What is a talented actor? This is a talented actor. This can't be a script, can it? Which script dares to appear in Yunlan's movie casually? If she fails to act it, she will be ridiculed by the group, and even if it is a script, Sci-Fi has performed her. My God, I seem to have foreseen the birth of the second Yunlan. She is only 19 years old this year. My scalp was numb. I took a few pictures. You see, Sci-Fi's eyes and tone are almost exactly the same as in the movie. I believe she is Yunlan Benlan. This performance has successfully gained Sci-Fi a large number of fans. But the more red and black, the more powder. Sci-Fi's fans are really getting better and better. First, Yan suppressed Tong Luyun, but now it's better to start touching porcelain. Yunlan directly. Is Yunlan the person your sister can touch porcelain? Yunlan is not a human being, but a legend. I am afraid that Sci-Fi only dared to touch porcelain because of Yunlan's fans, but she really succeeded in touching porcelain. Marketing every day. I'm so annoying. Can I not be on the hot search? Gu Wenzu will watch Sci-Fi's programs. This extra episode of The Birth of a Staff is no exception. When he saw these barrages, he was very angry. You are obviously better than before. What are these people's eyes? Sci-Fi didn't care. She touched her chin. I remembered a joke. Gu Wenzu was stunned for a moment. Are you still in the mood to make a joke? What kind of joke? Yes, Sci-Fi was unhurried. Ivy Jani won the 2nd place in the competition to imitate Ivy Jani. Ivy Jani is an internationally famous comedian in the last century and the recipient of the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award. No one has surpassed him in comedy achievements so far. Once, a TV station in the Western continent held a local imitation Ivy Jani contest, which attracted many people to participate. In the end, the judges and the audience found that the 2nd place they thought had a lot to do was Ivy Jani himself. This joke has been around until now. Gu Wenzu. Don't say it, it's really funny. Are you going to the film festival tomorrow? Gu Wenzu asked. Lingyun will announce his film news at the film festival. Let's go, Si fucking said with a lazy expression. Teacher, you gave too many tickets. Fortunately, someone will divide them, otherwise I will auction them off online. Gu Wenzu, if you are poor, just say so, we don't need to be so humble. He specially invited Si fucking to have a big meal, and gave her a taxi fare. As soon as Si fucking returned to the hotel after eating, he received a call from Sang Yanking. Hello, Sister Sang. Just now Sang Yanking paused. I received 34 more movie books, and some foreign directors. Si fucking had no special reaction, so. Sang Yanking took a deep breath. So what? Don't you know how much of a shock the variety show you shot yesterday? Unlike netizens, directors and producers in the industry will watch Si fucking's performance from a professional perspective. The top directors have vicious eyes, and at a glance, you can see the depth of Si fucking's acting skills. It's okay, Si fucking recalled, I didn't use my full strength. Sang Yanking, is that you? She slowed down and asked again, I haven't asked you which movie you want to pick up yet. I read a few books and it's pretty good. You really don't pick it up. Well, tomorrow he will announce the news at the film festival, Si fucking said. I'll take over when the filming is over. Okay, Sang Yanking nodded. Anyway, you still have to film Girls in the Country, the schedule is very full, and there is good news, you have already been shortlisted for the Golden Flower Award and the Hwanian Award, and the awards will be given in April, just in time for you. I can go to the awards ceremony when I get back from Glen. In terms of time, Si fucking was definitely the fastest winner she had ever brought. But at the same time, Sang Yanking was also a little skeptical. It won't really be like what it said on the internet, you are the reincarnation of Yun Lan, right? Your acting is really exactly the same. Si fucking, yes. Sang Yanking, your joke made me laugh. Si fucking. To tell the truth, no one will ever believe it. The next day. On March 23rd, the 87th Grameen Film Festival officially opened. There were many actors present, and there were also many stars who came to the red carpet. The red carpet at the beginning does not require any tickets, anyone can come in. Kyeokyo and Tong Lu-yoon are a company and a famous internet celebrity. They successfully rubbed off Tong Lu-yoon's team and came to Glen. Although she didn't have a ticket, she was very satisfied to be able to come. Today, we can come in with the light of teacher Tong. Kyeokyo held up her mobile phone and turned on the live broadcast. I can only take a picture outside. There are a lot of movie stars and actresses. With the words grain, more fans than usual poured into Kyeokyo's live broadcast room. Wow! Awesome! Take more shots, take more shots. Tong Lu-yoon is still Tong Lu-yoon, and there are not many Daxia actors who can be invited to the film festival. Kyeokyo introduced while filming. Seeing the increasing popularity in the live broadcast room, she was very satisfied. Some fans have sharp eyes and saw director Chin and his party. Isn't that the program team of The Birth of a Staff? Kyeokyo, go and take more pictures. I want to see Si fucking, I just need to see her face. Can Si fucking come to the film festival when he plays Yun Lan? Smile, she is not the actress, but she has no votes. Kyeokyo also followed the fans' wishes, went up to greet the staff birth program team, and pulled them into the camera. She was about to say something when her gaze fell on the hand of a female star, and she paused. You have tickets? Ah, the female star said, yes, teacher Si gave each of us a ticket. She had more tickets, so she brought all of us in. Hey, Director Chin, where is teacher Si? Director Chin was also taken aback and looked around. Yeah, where is she? Why did she disappear? It was said that Duan Jingtao was forced to drop his intelligence. The problem is that he has no intelligence. If a female elite suddenly becomes a love brain, then it is called forced intellectual demotion, and if a normal person suddenly goes mad, it is also called forced intellectual abandonment. Duan Jingtao is consistent in his words and deeds, he is a mentally retarded, smiley face. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 399. Director Qin and the assistant director went to find someone. Kyokyo's live broadcast room was quiet. Even the barrage seems to have been emptied, with only a few question marks and exclamation marks. Sci-fi was away, and several celebrities and other art interns followed him to find someone. Kyokyo stood on the spot with her mobile phone in her hand, still a little bewildered. After half a minute, there was finally movement in the live broadcast room. Did I hear it wrong? Who gave the ticket? You heard it right before, Sci-fi gave it, and she gave all the tickets of the show group. The birth of an employee program group's guests and the main creative team add up to 30 or 40 people, 30 or 40 tickets for the Glen Film Festival. Come on, give me a hand, Sci-fi is usually so generous, is it right? Tickets for the Glen Film Festival are all purchased internally and cannot be bought with money. But if someone has extra tickets in hand, it will indeed be sold to others. But with dozens of tickets, who can get so many? Isn't this a wholesaler? Kyokyo pulled the corners of his lips, and the smile gradually disappeared. She was only able to come to the Grameen Film Festival because of Tong Lu-yun's team, but she couldn't get in because there were no tickets. But Sci-fi was able to take out a bunch of tickets to the show team at will. This comparison can be said to be tragic. Kyokyo pursed her lips, and did not intend to broadcast live. She hurriedly turned off her phone and left the scene. The other side. Sci-fi held the juice and chatted with Gu Wenzu in the corner of Area A. The phone rang, and she picked it up. Hello? Director Qin, I'm in, you can turn yours around. I'm with my teacher, don't worry about me, the old man is getting old and needs someone to accompany him. Gu Wenzu was very pleased. It was Alan, the dear apprentice, who was caring, and Chu Lingyun, the bastard, he just wanted to fight when he saw it. Oh, that you will accompany your teacher, Director Qin nodded. This is my first time participating in the Glen Film Festival, and I'm still a little nervous. Sci-fi encouraged him, Director Qin, come on, rush forward. Hearing this sentence, Director Qin really had strength. After a few steps, he felt something was wrong. Who is teacher Sci-fi? Director Qin's expression gradually became solemn. While thinking about it, he went in with the assistant director to participate in the film festival. Area is filled with movie stars and queens from various countries, as well as other big names in the film and television industry, including Tong Lu-yun. Area has a few tickets from other areas, and she can get resources. Of course, she gave Song Wenhua casually. This little kindness is nothing to Tong Lu-yun. The Glen Film Festival, which sets the stage for the Glen Awards in June, also announced the short-listed films today. Until a familiar figure came to the stage. The guests were instantly excited. Director Chu. It's Director Chu. Director Chu said that he would announce the news of a new movie, which seems to be true. I don't know whether to use new actors or old actors. The actors were all excited, staring intently above. In the corner, Gu Wenzu said to Sci-fi, I saw it, you finished filming Girls of the Town in September, just in October to make his film, so that you can be in time for next year's Glen Awards ceremony. Gu Wenzu is also very regretful that Daxia film has not broken into Glen for many years in a row. Sci-fi paused and said politely, a little too rushed. If you don't catch up, You won't catch up. Gu Wenzu waved his hand. As a teacher, I believe in your ability very much. You have passed it all. Si fucking. She had already thought of the terrifying scene where she was called out by Chu Lingyun, who suddenly had inspiration, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, using a series of deadly calls. Now she is really open all year round. I haven't shown my face for a long time, and I miss you all very much. Chu Lingyun tapped the microphone and said, I haven't made a movie in the past 6 years, but I have designed a lot of jewelry and costumes, and traveled all over the world, reading countless mountain scenery. Many friends in the industry have asked me when I will continue making movies. Here's some good news for you. At the beginning of this month, I finally finished the script for my new movie. You can see it in movie theaters. As soon as he said these words, there were bursts of exclamations from the audience. Chu Lingyun is proficient in many foreign languages, but he only speaks Chinese in all public occasions. A simultaneous translator next to him translated his words completely and without error. Immediately, all the actors present looked at him with fiery eyes. This is Chu Lingyun. Even the best actor and actress who has already won the Grameen Award want to make his movie. Who doesn't want to be the second Yunlin and become a milestone in film history? If you want to win the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award, you must make a huge contribution in the field of film and television. Yes, I will still choose Daxia's actresses to make my movie. I already have a definite candidate. Chu Lingyun smiled. I believe she can win Glenn's Best Actress through this movie. Actor Award, please look forward to our cooperation. He didn't say who it was, but under the stage, the expressions of almost all the foreign actors changed, and they were very disappointed. The 3 words Daxia people have already excluded them. The Daxia actors who came to the scene today are all at the level of movie stars and actresses. In addition to Tong Luyun, there are 4 other actresses. The 5 were almost ecstatic. At the scene, Daxia people, then it will only be one of the 5 of them. Tong Luyun has always been confident. After all, she is the youngest 3-gold actress in the country. But she also knew that she and Yunlan were impossible to compare. It is true that she has almost won all the movie awards in the Daxia Empire. But Yunlan died, and Chu Lingyun finally made a comeback as a director after 6 years, which proves that her chance has come. Tong Luyun's heart was pounding. What if Chu Lingyun really chose her? In the Great Xia Empire, only Yunlan won the Glenn Award. If she also won it, she would be truly unbeatable. Tong Luyun couldn't contain her excitement. Maybe in a few days, her team will receive a call from Chu Lingyun. The next part is the red carpet and other performances, and Si fucking is not interested. She left early and went back to the hotel. At this time, Yu Zian was looking at the document while making comments. Si fucking walked up to him and folded his hands together. Boss, can I borrow your car key to go out for a walk? I will never drive a car, so be careful. Don't worry, Yu Zian raised her head when she heard the words. Looks like you forgot what happened a few days ago. Si fucking. Isn't it because she hasn't touched a motorcycle for a long time, accidentally drove it, and forgot to bring someone? Yu Zian withdrew his gaze and said in a cool tone, I think of a better way. So, Si Fu looked at him eagerly. Ninth brother, can you give me the car keys and let me go out to play? Yu Zian paused and almost threw the pen out. He put down the pen, looked up, put one hand on the wall next to her, and leaned down slightly. Very close. The man's voice was very calm, and he couldn't hear any fluctuations, but his voice was a little darker. Who did you learn from? Feng San and Zijiang are called that. Si fucking made a gesture. Ninth brother, I am also your good employee, I just want to go for a walk, please, car keys. Yu Zian was silent for a moment, then sighed, learn less from them. He still gave the car keys out. I cured your leg, but you bullied me with your height. Si fucking looked at him, you black-hearted monster. Uzion got up and said unhurriedly, "You can also bully me elsewhere. It makes sense as I fucking successfully got the car keys, I will crush you with my IQ." Uzion pressed his eyebrows for the first time, and smiled helplessly. "Intelligence is high enough." "That's right, I've tested my IQ, and it's really high as I fucking was not modest at all, I'm smart." Uzion nodded. "Where are you going to college?" "Das I fucking look serious, I happen to be with Tang Tang, and I also got closer to you, boss, so that I can protect you." "Yeah." Uzion raised her eyebrows calmly, "It's quite smart." The 87th Film Festival ended successfully, and soon, the media integrated all the news and released it online. The news that Chu Lingyun is about to shoot a new movie at the end of the year also shook the entire Great Xia Empire. Chu Lingyun couldn't possibly use foreigners as the protagonists. He had already said that he would only make movies for Daxia, and he was the only one who could convince those foreigners. "I guess Tong Luyun appeared at the film festival today." "I also guessed Tong Luyun has no rivals in the country, it is time to enter Glen." "What do you mean she has no rivals in the country? She was caught up by SI fucking, okay, aren't the ratings of Dynasty enough to say it all?" Laughing, "SI fucking has just one TV series, Dragon Crossing, Tong Luyun has dozens of them, and longevity is the king's way. Let's talk about other things when SI fucking wins the award." "I don't care about Yasi fucking, she also went to the film festival, and her acting skills are so amazing. I will ask, besides the big devil, who else has such acting skills at the age of 19, it was Chu Lingyun's loss that Chu Lingyun did not choose her." "Brother, if you drink too much, you should eat 2 peanuts when you drink. Movies are different from TV dramas." Almost 80% of people guessed Tong Luyun. After all, she is indeed the one with the most awards among the popular actresses. Sang Yanking is different from the netizens. SI fucking explained to her in advance. "You want to make a film directed by Chu?" Sang Yanking made a phone call and couldn't control his voice. "Are you going to win the Grameen Award next year?" SI fucking thought for a while. "According to the process, it should be." Sang Yanking was numb. "Okay, where are you going to go to college?" SI fucking, "Seattle, it's not interesting at Ethno University." Sang Yanking: "What is the meaning of Ethno University? The #1 university in the world is what she says it is." After the call, SI fucking received another call from Lu Xingkai, little prodigy. "Hey, sister SI, I have some news." Lu Xingkai said, "I told the old guys at the Intercontinental Institute some good news, and they agreed to move the international entrance exam to June, and the exact date will be announced at that time." "Thank you," SI fucking said lazily, "I'll invite you to dinner later." Okay, Lu Xingkai was very happy, and after a few seconds, he twisted his mouth and said, "Sister SI, I am 15 years old, but I have finished my PhD. Can you introduce me to a female as well?" "Friend." SI fucking, I'm hanging up. "Why?" Lu Xingkai grieved, "we met first, right? How can you treat my elder brother better than me?" SI fucking was ruthless, "Because your eldest brother is just a fish I caught for Tang Tang." Lu Xingkai: "Ah, I suddenly feel a little sympathetic to his big brother." At the same time, the results of the art test are also out. Song Wenhua, the first in the art test hashtag. Song Wenhua, Xia Ying hashtag. Song Wenhua's assistant also confirmed that Song Wenhua won the first good result in this year's art joint examination. Entering Xia Ying is certain, it depends on the college entrance examination in June. Song Wenhua's external marketing personality has always been a scholar, and the first place in the art test has also stabilized her personality. There are many child stars who participated in the college entrance examination this year, and the circle is very concerned about it. There are also many names of actors on the entertainment list, and fans are celebrating. Soon some netizens discovered that SI fucking's name did not appear in it. Sci-Fucking is also taking the college entrance examination this year. Is her art exam silent? How bad is this test? Off the line? Your acting skills are unmatched among the little flowers of the same age, and you have already started to fight against the big flowers, but if you don't even go to college, it's a bit unreasonable, right? It looks like she didn't even participate in the art test, otherwise she would have been exploded before her popularity had passed the line. If you don't take the art exam and don't go to Xiaoying, do you still want to go to other universities? With your bad grades, which university can you go to? About Yinghuang Publishing, one good news and one bad news. The good news is that the editor finally came to me again. The bad news is that the first draft has been blocked, and we have to continue to make major revisions. This year should be hopeless. If you work hard, maybe it will be published next year. Ching Ching should have no chance to publish, because His Majesty's identity is sensitive, and his worldview is more mysterious than Emperor Ying. Ugh. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 400. Many netizens know about Sci-Fucking's entry into Bizhu No. 1 middle school, but he has been in for more than a semester, and there is no news. Students from Bizhu No. 1 middle school also said that they did not see Sci-Fucking in the class. Netizens summed up Sci-Fucking's itinerary for more than half a year and found that it was so packed that there was no time to study. This also proves that she just got a student status in Bizhu No. 1 middle school and got a high school diploma. After all, Sci-Fucking dropped out of school and made a lot of noise during the 2 years when she was hacked all over the internet. The qualitative impression of public netizens on her is still a scumbag. In Bizhu No. 1 middle school, only the students who took the computer-based exam with Sci-Fucking at that time knew her depth. But they were soft-spoken, and they were already overwhelmed by other comments. Don't Sci-Fucking take the art test route, in addition to acting, she also plays games. Actually, not taking the art exam is the right decision. If I take the college entrance exam and get only 300 points when I get the score, it will be funny. I never thought of this. As expected of Sang Yanking, this method is different. The Song Wenhua team was also very surprised to learn that Sci-Fucking did not take the art exam. Sci-Fucking's acting skills are absolutely unmatched among the little flowers. She participated in the art test, that is, crushing. No one wants to meet her. The students who were going to Xiaoying in the same class as Sci-Fucking had already anticipated that they would be stepping stones. But who would have thought that Sci-Fucking didn't take the art test at all? She didn't take the art exam, probably because she wasn't sure about the culture class, so she simply didn't participate. Otherwise, the score was too low to pass the test, and she would only be ridiculed by the group. Song Wenhua's manager made a reasonable analysis. After all, with her acting skills, and if she exercises again, Glenn will directly ask for her. She is really a talented actor. Song Wenhua felt a little uncomfortable, but he had to admit it was a fact. She exhaled slowly, suppressing her depression. Okay, Glenn's tour is over, and the rest of the recording will only take half a month. The agent comforted her. Then you go back to school and prepare for the college entrance examination. You are an art student, as long as you get 500%. It's a high score. Song Wenhua nodded lightly. The heroine of Lone Walk has chosen you, so we can't let go of this good opportunity for publicity. The agent laughed. Sci-Fucking is very popular, and then we will use her name to promote more publicity, saying that the crew it was because of her poor study that she was not chosen. Song Wenhua did not like Sci-Fucking. But the method proposed by the broker does work. In the entertainment industry, today I will pay attention to you, and tomorrow you will step on me, and you must always maintain your popularity. Song Wenhua raised a question, but why does she have so many film festival tickets? She won the first place in the International Youth Exhibition. Although outsiders don't care about that exhibition, it is the supreme honor in the field of art. The agent pondered for a moment. That ticket should have been given to her by the chairman of the International Art Association. Unfortunately she won't use it. If the tickets are given to some well-known actors who did not get the tickets, Sci-fi can replace a lot of resources. The agent shook his head and didn't care. Online propaganda, public opinion control, etc. have always been under the full control of Sang Yanking, and there is no need for Sci-fi to worry. Sci-fi only goes online when she has to be open, and usually the studio is in charge of filming her daily life. She doesn't care about the discussions of netizens and is driving with all her heart. But because the Glen Film Festival just ended, the central area was very congested at this time. Yumi was urging her again, asking her to do it as soon as possible. Sci-fi clenched the steering wheel and said to himself, the hero saves the beauty, the boss will definitely not blame me if I drive fast. She stepped on the accelerator and accelerated. Stab. The body leaned slightly, and only 2 wheels touched the ground. But the speed of the car did not decrease, so it drove past diagonally, successfully breaking out of the traffic jam. The other drivers on the side of the road were stunned. Inside a Bugatti Veyron. This car. On the co-pilot, the middle-aged man looked at the speeding sports car, and after holding it for a long time, only one sentence came out, "Can you still drive like this?" The young man in the back seat also saw the whole thing. He froze for a moment, looking forward in a trance. Mr. Yoon is scared. The middle-aged man noticed his abnormality and immediately said, "I'll go and ask their traffic management department how they manage street safety." But in fact, the previous car just drove a little harder, and if you talk about the traffic rules, you can't say that it violated the traffic rules. No, the young man retracted his gaze and smiled lightly, "It's just that the driving skills are a little familiar, and it reminds me of a person." There was a dark, thoughtful look in his eyes. Familiar, the middle-aged man was stunned. Among the people Mr. Yoon knows, someone actually drives like this. Isn't this the way to see God driving? If someone around him was driving like this, he would definitely avoid it. Middle-aged people have only seen operations like Blade overtaking in movies. Never imagined that one day we would meet in reality. Yes, it's even more dangerous to drive. We don't want to take her car. Lang Xian was silent for a while, and said lightly, "She's gone." The middle-aged man misunderstood what he meant, and just echoed, "Even if the driving skills are good, the car can't be driven like this in the future. In case of an accident, the car will crash and die. I still have to tell the traffic management department here. To avoid danger." Lang Xian did not explain, and withdrew his gaze. He narrowed his eyes, still thinking. Until the sound of the phone message broke the silence. Lang Xian pressed the call button. "Hello. Mr. Yoon, we have already received hundreds of design concept drawings of the 14th generation chip," the secretary said. "We have selected 33 copies here, and you will have a look at them when you are free." "Well," Lang Xian said lightly, "put it away first. The 12th generation chips released this year can't have any problems." "Definitely," the secretary responded. "I'll let all departments prepare according to your instructions." Lang Xian sighed lightly. If their little junior sister is still there, how can he use other people's design drawings? Pity. Lang Xian closed his eyes and quietly waited for the road to clear. Here, Sci-fi successfully dragged his car to the bar where Yumi was in 10 minutes. She also didn't know what happened to Yumi that made her come quickly. Fortunately, she was driving Yu Xian's car, and she was very careful, and there was no collision. The body is still flawless. Sci-fi glanced at the bar through the car window. Then she saw her dear third senior sister being blocked on the bar by a tall man. A very standard wall stance. Sci-fi raised his eyebrows. Huh. Go back 10 minutes. Yumi was drinking at a bar, and out of professional habit, she started to talk to the bartender behind the bar and tell her news. While drinking, it was blocked by someone. Huo Yangxing glanced at her and said in a calm voice, "Miss Wang had a good time." Yu Jian looked at his face for 2 seconds, but didn't recognize it. She just thought the face was quite handsome. "Then I judged from the clothes that this was the Chief Zero I met 2 days ago." She took a sip of red wine, generally happy. "We checked Glenn's entry records, and there was no one named Wang Xiaomei." Huo Yan pressed closer, taking advantage of his height to look at her from above. "There is no record of your face that day and today's face. There is reason to suspect that you sneaked in here with an unknown purpose and wanted to do something illegal. If you don't tell the truth, I have the right to arrest you." Everyone else in the bar was scared away by the battle. "Sir, don't be so fierce." Yu Jian raised his right hand with a calm demeanor. "Okay, I am a weak woman. Look at what happened that day. I can't be more cautious. My real name is Yu. Absolutely true. You go check it out." I fucking heard the sentence when he first arrived. Is this the real name? Well, in fact, it is still related to the real name. After all, there are still several senior brothers who don't know her third senior sister's real name. Huo Yangxing glanced at her sharply, and then entered the name and identity information from the monthly newspaper on his mobile phone. That's right. But definitely still fake. The veins on his forehead jumped, and he took a deep breath. "You." Drip drip. I fucking pressed the horn and probed, "Sister, go." "My sister is in a hurry." Yu Jian returned to normal in a second. "Sir, I have something to do today, we will talk later." Huo Yangxing didn't react. Yu Ejian jumped into the car at a very fast speed. I fucking stepped on the accelerator immediately. The car went away. Huo Yangxing frowned. He looked at the departing car, and his good eyesight allowed him to see the license plate number. Huo Yangxing felt that the license plate number was familiar. It is an international license plate number, and it is very difficult to apply for it. He was eligible, but he was in Freeland except when he was on the mission, so he didn't apply. When needed, he asked Yu Xian to borrow it. Huo Yangxing took out his mobile phone and called, "Shi Yan, who is driving your car?" Yu Xian supported her head and hummed, "My girl." Huo Yangxing. This is a bit too coincidental. Yu Xian's brows moved slightly, and her tone was slow and slow. "Did you catch the racing car?" "No." Huo Yangxing pressed his eyebrows. "You're going back to Daxia tomorrow?" "I'll go back with you." After a pause, he said with a bit of gritted teeth, "Leave a seat for me on your private jet." "Okay." Yu Xian said, "Keep it for you." At the end of the call, Huo Yangxing's expression was still a little ugly. Weak woman? Back then, when he didn't know that she was also an undercover agent, this weak woman could fight him. An S-rank evolutionary, still weak. What a joke. Huo Yangxing pursed his lips slightly. Something must have happened that caused her to lose that memory. He must find out. "First, sir," the bartender who came back said tremblingly, "then, that lady hasn't paid yet." Huo Yangxing glanced at him, looked at his abdomen heavily, and then threw down a banknote. "The figure is not as good as his, and I don't know what the woman wants to touch." Really blind. Huo Yangxing left with a cold face. The bartender carefully put away the banknotes, and was relieved. The other side. Zhongzhou, Mexico City. Magia. Because the second semester of love psychology started the next day, Canyon and Feng San came back one day earlier. Canyon is actually surnamed Tan, but brothers are used to calling them by their first names, and over time they don't use their surnames anymore. Tan's father wanted to leave as soon as he saw him coming back, and the anger that had been accumulated for a long time could no longer be suppressed. "Tell me about you. I shouldn't have agreed with you to report for any secret mission." Father Tan was very angry. "You will be 24 soon. Look at the people who were with you at that time, they have all become the core disciple, but what about you? You actually went to deliver food. What secret mission did you report for? What can't you say? Why can the secret mission reported by others be upgraded? Canyoning scratched his head and said nothing. Only Mo Yanwen and the first elder of the Mo family knew that he was Yu Zion's secret guard. Not everyone knows Yu Zion's status in the Mo family. Canyon also knew that his strength could only be regarded as medium in the Mo family. After all, neither he nor Feng San are evolutionaries, but the Mo family has several evolutionaries. But Canyoning doesn't care about vanity. Following Yu Zion, the benefits are not comparable to the core disciples. This Canyoning is clear. But when it comes to a series of issues, he really can't talk to Father Tan too much. Dad, don't worry too much. Canyon can only comfort him. I have learned a lot recently, and I will definitely pass the exam. I will rest first, and I have class tomorrow. You don't take the hidden weapon class. What kind of love psychology is there? Father Tan was furious. What do you study all day long? Canyoning is voting for SI fucking. Others have already gone to solve the Magia Organ City. You are still in the mood to chase stars. Father Tan glanced at his mobile phone page, and became even more angry. A female star, she can improve your strength, let you pass the test, get the eternal account. Fourth senior brother, on the runway. Brother 6? There should be more updates in a few days, and the end of the semester is quite busy. The main thing is that we have a lot more updates than other authors. If I am more than 4,000, I will add more updates every day. You also urge other authors to make them roll up QWQ.